and welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On The Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we're joined, I don't know where from, Shawn Smith, yay!
Lexington, Kentucky.
So, where are you from? Kentucky?
Yeah, Kentucky, believe it or not. I don't have an accent, but...
Yeah. So that's East Coast, isn't it?
We're about 6 hours, 7 hours from the coast.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, because... we haven't spoke for a couple of years, mate. I know you're on one of my old shows, back 2-3 years ago now. So how have you been?
I've been doing pretty good. Biggest thing is I guess I've become a father, so...
Oh, wow.
Got a 10-month-old son, so that's probably the biggest event that's happened in my life since I've talked to you.
Yeah. So what's it like being a dad then?
You know, it's really cool. I never thought I would be a dad. I didn't think I'd make a good one, but you know, when they come into the world, like instinct kind of kicks in, but it's really cool seeing them grow up. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Any more planned or?
I hope not.
Yeah.
She's already talking about more. I'm like, hold on.
Yeah.
Let's give him more years and see how he does.
Yeah. So does being a father, did you feel like does that interfere with your bodybuilding? Or do you think it helps it?
It hasn't so far. I mean, of course, there's more responsibility. I have to. I guess I have to focus more on him than me. You know, bodybuilders tend to be selfish and only think of themselves, and I guess schedule their day around themselves. So it's kind of shifted in that regard, but it hasn't been too bad.
Oh, good. Okay. So obviously the big news in America, your election. So how's that been?
I thought it would be total chaos, but it's not been too bad. No riots around where I live. So
yet.
I didn't really have a dog in the fight.
Right.
Anyway,
okay.
I'm more of kind of like a libertarian. I just think people should be able to do what they want as long as they're not hurting themselves or other people.
Yeah.
I'm not really big towards like a Republican or Democrat. So, you know.
I was surprised because the last thing I kind of caught up with on Friday where they said, oh, look, this is probably not going to cut. The results aren't going to come through for another month. And then yesterday it was like, shit, it happened, you know. It took me by surprise.
Well, of course, you know, Trump's filing lawsuits and stuff, and he's trying to get it overturned. So I imagine he's going to do everything that he can to try to flip the result. But who knows? Who knows what will happen?
Yeah. I don't think he's used to losing, is he?
No, I don't think he can take that very well. His ego is too big to lose, I think. So.
Well, okay. So, I mean... people will recognize you maybe from Instagram because you put those freaky videos of your back and your traps and your shoulders, those crazy shoulders of yours. But yeah, I mean, mate, honestly, your shoulders. I mean, how many times have you been accused of putting Photoshop on your shoulders?
Oh, synthol all the time. Yeah,
oh, synthol. Okay, as well.
Yeah, main thing, synthol. I'm like, do people even use that anymore? I don't know. Like, I figured that was too, but no, I haven't done any of that. It's just. I guess I just have a really good mind-muscle connection with my back and my shoulders. I can literally train like crap, like sloppy form, just throw weight around and they'll grow. So my legs are a different story. I have to really kind of like focus on feeling the contractions and the stretch.
Yeah.
Whereas like delts and back, I mean, I can just throw weight on there, rep it out, and they'll get sore and they'll grow.
I mean, going back to your shoulders, because I, to be honest, I've seen photos and it does look like they've been photoshopped, but I know they haven't because I saw that I've seen you post the video of it, and it's just
that's what I have to do now.
Yeah.
You have to post the video along with the picture so people won't say it's photoshopped.
The thing is, though. It's like I've seen, because I put a comment on a thread on MD the other week, and I said, guys, please stop shooting your side shoulders because it looks great in the front, maybe the front most muscular, but when you do the rear double bicep or a side chest or a quarter turn, there's that shine to the side. But because the thing is with your shoulders, you've got detail. And if you were shooting your shoulders full of crap, there would be no detail.
Right. It would probably be like weird angles too. It wouldn't be as round, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a weird phenomenon.
I mean, I'll be honest, I have looked at your rear double bicep shots. I've really looked closely, and I can see that there's, you know, you can see the three, I think the telltale sign is when they do a rear double bicep and all the shoulders are just one big head. There's actually 3 heads to the shoulders, not one.
Each one. I take care when I'm training to take proper intensity with all 3. Like I see a lot of guys, they'll put everything into side delts. They'll do like really heavy overhead press, and then maybe like on a cable machine, do some rear delts and then call it a day, you know. But my training for shoulders is mostly just free weights. I'd say about 90% free weights.
Okay.
And I probably do the same routine over and over and over again. It's just dumbbell raises from different angles, and usually maybe like a Smith machine overhead press, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay then. So let's talk a little bit about your, for people who aren't familiar with you, your contest history. Let's go a little bit over the highlights and when you turned pro and that sort of thing.
Well, I first started competing in October of 2015, so I'm really kind of I've been in the game for too long. People don't realize that.
2015.
October 2015 was my very first show.
Oh shit!
And I ended up doing that. And then I did national or North Americans the following year and got second to Chris Bumstead.
Okay. And
from then on, I kind of knew it. I had kind of like a thing going because I wasn't very confident when I first started. I didn't think that I could make it in bodybuilding. But from then on, I think I did nationals, ended up screwing up my prep, just like this past year in Chicago, and placed like 7th or something. And then I did the Arnold Amateur one year, which was a cool experience. I did North Americans again, and then I got my pro card in 2018. I got second in the super heavyweight class. Of course, in nationals, first and second get their pro cards. That's how I turned pro.
Wow, so you've only been competing 5 years. So how old are you now, Shawn?
I'm 33.
33, so you're still young. Still young.
Yeah, I've been bodybuilding. I mean, I've been living the lifestyle since I was 17, but actually just competing since 2015, so not too much time.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because I've been aware of you for a few years. I've kind of had it in my head that you've been around for a few years, but you didn't even turn pro until 2018.
Right, 2018. The Tampa Pro in 2019 was my pro debut.
Yeah.
My second pro show was just this past in Chicago.
Yeah, I remember the Tampa last year. The 2 that really stood out for me, as in newcomers, exciting newcomers, was yourself and Joel Thomas. You were the 2 that I thought these two are guys you need to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I really liked my look in Tampa. I was big and full, and people are used to seeing me as just big mass of muscle, of dead muscle, and that didn't happen in Chicago. So I think that's why I had such a bad placing. So
yeah. So what's your height and what was your in 2019 Tampa? What's your height and weight for that show?
In Tampa, well, I'm 5'8", not very tall. But in Tampa, I weighed in at 258. 258,
5'8".
Probably. I mean, I could have came in probably about 8 pounds lighter, to be honest.
Yeah.
But if I can come in low 250s, I think I could really do some damage.
Yeah. No, I think because I mean, especially in the lead up, all your progress pictures. I mean, your progress pictures blow minds because the conditioning, even when you're 8-9 weeks out, you look like you could literally step on stage there and then.
Yeah, it's really frustrating that I can't nail the whole thing because I want to bring in really good conditioning, but my muscle flattens out as I get more and more conditioned, and so it doesn't push against the skin, and so it appears that I'm, I guess, in worse shape than I really am. But I can get shredded too, as well as come with the size. But it's just finding that balance. Yeah. For me, hardest thing. Have
you ever considered going into a show exactly as you are, as in, because I mean the progress pictures, I mean there's no filters or anything on them. I look very closely. Your muscle detail is like that of a 212, a lightweight, and you've got full thick muscle, and then like you said, something, you look good on stage, but it's like, okay, what's going wrong from there to there? So have you ever considered just like literally doing 2 or 3 shows and then doing one where you just go in as you are?
Yeah, I have considered that. But my look, it's like my look varies throughout the day.
Okay.
So sometimes I'll hold more water. It seems like midday versus in the morning or evenings. I think I look my best.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if I think I'd be too scared to come in.
Yeah.
6 or 7 week out. But I'm working with a top coach next year. We've already worked that out. So that's my main thing is I just want to train, and I just want to eat, be told what to do.
Yeah.
Because from when I started till now, I've pretty much been coaching myself, trying to figure out, what works for my body and whatnot. But obviously I'm missing something. So I'm excited to work with someone, and hopefully they can bring me in 100%.
So what was the reason that you flew solo for the first, 2 years of your pro career?
Well, I've already had a degree in dietetics, and I've just been really interested in nutrition and the drug part of it. I've done a lot of research and done a lot of experimentation myself.
Okay.
I think it's just, for me, it's just kind of finding out firsthand on how things are supposed to work. And like I said, kind of learning my body. I'm really interested in that. And plus I've always heard, back in the day, all the guys used to do it themselves.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give it a shot,
Yeah, but I mean, I've always said, like from 4 weeks out from a show, it's like you've got blindness. You can't necessarily see what you're seeing in the mirror because it's like you can't trust your own eyes. So why have you never actually up until this point, handed over the reins just to say, look, I don't even know what I'm seeing right now. Can you just guide me in the last 4 weeks?
Yeah, well, I mean, when I say I coach myself, I make my own decisions, but I have kind of like a camp of like other pros, friends that bodybuilding experience, and they'll kind of tell me, hey, you might want to get a little bit leaner, or might want to pull back a bit. So even though I do coach myself, I do have other guys I go to for their opinions.
Yeah, good. So who are you working with then? Do you want to tell us?
Patrick Tour.
Oh wow, working Patrick Tour.
Yeah.
That's
I really like that he does things.
Yeah.
Also, his views on nutrition, I think are really sound. I'm a high protein guy.
Okay.
He's a low protein guy, so I think possibly making that switch could work in my favor. He's really thorough with his athletes. It seems like he's really done really well with James. I like James a lot, Hollingshead.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I reached out to Patrick and asked him if he'd be interested, and he said yeah. So, we'll start working together the first of the year.
Oh, Shawn, that's made my day hearing that, mate. I didn't know that because I spoke to Patrick literally a few days ago. I'm really happy to hear that because, I know that you two are going to do great things together. So what? So when did this come around? When did you reach out to him?
Right after Chicago.
Guy, I need help.
I am wasting too much time, too much money.
Yeah.
I have so much invested in this. I just need to go ahead and contact someone that could take me to the next level,
Yeah. So, I mean, have you had a lot of discussions yet about the plans for next year or what you want to do, or is it just, are you not properly started yet?
We're not. We haven't really discussed too much yet.
Okay.
I've just basically threw out ideas about competing next year, possibly, or even, if he thinks I need to take some time off, I'll do that. Whatever he says, I'll do it. So
yeah, no, I'm really happy about that. Like I said, he's done wonders with James Hollingshead, Nicholas Vuliud. The list of, this year really, Patrick has really kind of, I think he's really risen to like absolute, like almost number one prominence, along with like Chris Aceto and guys like that, and Chad Nichols. He went
from being kind of a mediocre bodybuilder to now I would consider him an elite, one of the best.
Who says sorry?
We're talking about James.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, James, yeah. I mean, God, just won 2 pro shows.
Yeah. So yes, it's been exciting to see him kind of transform under Patrick. So yeah, I'm really excited to work with him.
Yeah, I'm excited for you, mate. I'm excited for you. So have you given any? I mean, obviously you just did was it the New York Pro and Chicago, wasn't it, or was it Tampa and Chicago?
It was Tampa in 2019.
Yeah.
Then I had plans to do the Indianapolis Pro in 2020, and I think I was about 6 or 7 weeks out, and that's when the whole coronavirus thing, the pandemic, started shutting down things, and they canceled the show 6 weeks out, and so I was kind of hovering around that condition, 6, 7 weeks out, and maybe trying to see if I could jump into one. So it ended up being Chicago.
Yeah. So, I mean, how has Patrick assessed your physique? And because I mean, I know he's like with Nicholas, as he wanted to reset him so he could bring his waistline and just to make different adjustments to his physique. Has he looked at your physique and said, right, okay, this is what we need to do over the next 6 or 12 months?
No, like I said, we haven't talked much. We haven't made any plans. It's just it's official, and I've paid him and everything. And I told him to get started at the first of the year. I just needed a little bit of a mental break, I think, after that.
Yeah. So what with the Chicago, where were you feeling like you were looking good? Did you kind of, because I know like Ian Valliere with the New York Tampa, when he didn't look that great. Patrick said up till about the Friday, he says Ian was looking amazing, and then we just kind of lost control of things, and then we couldn't kind of claw it back. So when did you at Chicago? Because I saw the lead up videos and pictures on your Instagram, and you looked absolutely phenomenal.
I was good until about a week out. And, I started introducing food, and it just wasn't sticking. And I would eat even bad things like burgers, fries, and stuff. And my metabolism was just so fast. I don't know. It just got away from me, and I just couldn't fill out no matter what I tried to do. I was trying to keep in mind, because my whole thing, I always wanted to keep a tighter stomach as well. Yeah. So I was taking care not to overfeed, but at the same time, I was trying to fill out. In addition, introducing diuretics that just made me worse. Yeah. I guess because of the loss in sodium, just can't retain the glycogen as much. And like I said, if you're flat, because I was conditioned, I was barely any body on me, but I was so flat that the muscle wasn't pushing against the skin, and that just makes you look out of shape. Yeah. Did you start freaking out a little bit maybe as well, and then the cortisol started raising, do you think? Possibly. That could have been it too. Yeah. I knew about 2 to 3 days out, I knew it wasn't going to be good. So yeah, there's nothing that I could really do at that point in time.
I think the guys, I mean, I tell you, as a perfect example of this is Akeem Williams, where if they come in flat, like if you look at the judging and the night show, it looked like a completely different bodybuilder. And he said all he did was because the big guys like yourself with the big, full, round, dense muscle, they need a lot of food to actually fill it out, or they don't look as impressive.
And I think I don't realize the food I need. And that also comes into play what I mentioned earlier about me having a high protein diet and kind of a low carbohydrate. Yeah. I think it was better to, swap the two. In that case, my body would be more efficient at storing glycogen rather than having to convert the extra protein into glucose and then storing that. Yeah. So live and learn, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's all a learning curve, and like I said, you got to learn your own body. It's like because some guys, they can go in almost, with very little carbs, and they look great and they look tight and separated. And then you got guys like you said, like it was Akeem said to us, he said he had 500 gram of carbs from between the judging and the night show and a pizza, and he came out and he looked absolutely sensational because, like you said, the muscle was really pushing against the skin, and you just look, it just looks so much more impressive.
Yeah, Akeem Williams he was super impressive. Especially standing to him backstage, the amount of muscle frame, and he's also another bodybuilder who lifts really heavy, really impressive weights, but changed a lot of his training this past year to more kind of bodybuilding style. So I've been trying to upgrade as well, more, I guess, metabolic work.
Yeah. Are you a strong guy?
Yeah.
Throw me some numbers. Throw me some numbers. Come
on. What do you want to know?
Come on. Just
a lot
pick.
Of my practices on the machine, which I get a lot of flack about, but I can do plates on each side for 5 to 6 reps.
Sorry, I missed that one. Sorry. Say that again.
645s on each side of the Smith machine. Like I can bench press that for like 5 or 6.
Wow. Okay. I feel sorry for the guy who has to spot you though, just in case you fail. You know, it's like, oh shit.
No, I don't like to work out with anyone, so I usually don't have any spot or anything, which is another reason why I use the Smith machine. But
yeah,
hack squats. I've done 1,000 pounds for 10 reps.
Okay. So
I don't know. Side lateral raises, I'll do 95s for 8. So, yeah.
So that answers my question then. Yeah, you are a strong bodybuilder. Holy shit. Have you ever tried powerlifting?
I'm not. I'm just not into that. I don't know. I'm not a great deadlifter.
Okay.
It's a really awkward motion for me, and I hurt myself a lot on it. So
yeah,
I don't think I'd make a good powerlifter.
I wouldn't mind seeing some training videos of you and Akeem training together, actually, maybe in the off season, you know, just.
He's especially in squats. They put like 7 plates on each side and make it look like it's 135. It's insane.
Oh, actually, I tell you what would be good is Patrick Tour putting you and James Hollinshead through legs. That would be good. That would be a good video. That's a video I think would get 1 million views.
That would be sick. I would love that.
Yeah. So have you met James?
I haven't. No. There's obviously a lot of distance between us. So we haven't done it together. But hopefully in the future.
Yeah.
Of course, he's all qualified for 2 Olympias in a row, so I doubt we'll be seeing each other anytime soon.
Yeah. So you're part of Team Tour now, mate. So you guys got to stick together, you know, collaborate, you know.
Right.
So okay. So what do you do for a living then, Shawn?
I do my fair bit of online coaching, but mainly I personal train people. So mainly just like housewives and just normal people looking to get in shape. I've been doing that for about 17 years.
17? So, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Since I was 18, I always just wanted to work for myself. I don't like people telling me what to do. So I'm just been a personal trainer for most of my life and have had good success with that. I've built my client base over time, and it doesn't really seem like work to me. I'm friends with most of my clients, so good times.
Well, so you messaged me the other day and you said you start at 5 a.m. and you finish at 3 p.m.
Not every day. That's my typical, I guess, like work day. But with personal training, you're working when other people aren't. Yeah. So I do a lot of evening hours as well.
Has the pandemic affected your PT and your own training this year?
So they closed gyms down for quite a while over here. But I was lucky enough to train at the studio that I train people at. Has really basic equipment, and I was able to just go there whenever I wanted, and I could knock out the basic stuff. So it didn't affect me too much. And I'm a homebody anyway. I don't really like to go out, so properly trained for this. Yeah.
So apart from obviously your partner and your child, what do you do in your spare time? Anything you like to do in particular?
Man, you don't have any spare time.
Kid and a job, no spare time.
Old son and bodybuild, that's it, man.
Yeah. That's enough.
I cook, that's about it.
Yeah. So are you
foreign lifestyle I live, but it is what it is. I love it.
Good. Well, so are you excited for this year's Olympia?
Oh yeah. I'm excited to see Phil Heath return. Phil Heath is one of my favorites. So yeah, I wanna see him come back better than ever and just destroy the lineup. But there's a lot of other good athletes in there too, of course. So looking forward to it.
So who's your top 5?
Phil, I'm gonna go with.
So Phil first.
Let's see. I don't know who's second. I'm gonna say.
You don't know who's second?
Brandon Curry.
Okay. Can't have him lower than second, mate.
Yeah. Brandon Curry, Big Rammy.
Okay.
I don't know. Throw some other names out there.
William Bonac, Hadi Chupin. There's no Steve Cooklow. Dexter Jackson, of course, in his last Olympia.
Right. I'm going to go Hadi fourth, and I'm going to go William Bonac fifth.
Oh, wow, okay. And maybe, what Dexter sixth or... James?
Yeah, maybe Dexter sixth.
Okay. How do you think James Hollinshead will do?
Top 10, easily.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 8th, 9th.
Oh, wow, okay. What about your other fellow Team Tour athlete, Ian Valliere, winner of the New York Pro?
He's looking really good in his recent shots. I don't know, man. I'm not too good at predicting winners of shows or anything like that, rankings, but maybe 10th, 9th.
Yeah.
I think James has a little bit of an advantage over him, but.
So you think James Hollinshead will beat Valliere?
I like his physique better.
Yeah.
I like the thick, grainy, conditioned look. So.
I was just thinking, if I ever asked you who'd you prefer, Dorian Yates or Flex Wheeler, I think you'd say Dorian Yates, wouldn't you?
What are we talking about here? Like,
just generally. Just something that's popped into my head. That's all.
I prefer to have Flex Wheeler's physique.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
With the roundness and the muscle bellies. So yeah.
Okay. All right then, Shawn. Well, I'm glad we got you on finally, because it was tricky to try and schedule you in, but we've got you in now, mate. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy to hear that you're teaming up with Patrick, mate. That's made my day. I'm really excited about that. It's I think
pumped about that. Yeah, it should be good.
Yeah.
2021, a good year for me. So.
Yeah, no, I think it will be, mate. I think it will be. And like I said, and in 2021 you'll only be in your third year as a pro at 33, 34 years old. So most guys, some of them aren't turning pro till they're 35, not even hitting their peak till like 40 even now. With the top guys, So I think I see good things for you next year, mate.
Hey, I appreciate it, Giles. Thank you.
Yeah. All right then, Shawn. Take care, mate, and hopefully I might see you in Vegas because if I can get there.
I don't know if I'm working the expo or not for Animal, so we'll see.
Oh, of course, because you're with Animal now, aren't you?
Yes, yeah.
Good.
For 2-3 months now, so.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they're my favorite supplement company, so I was super excited about joining their team. So
yeah, oh, that's good. I'm really get a good sponsor with. It's not just about getting a good sponsor, a good contract, but one with a really good company like Animal. It's been around since the 70s. It's been consistent. It's the one because you get these companies that kind of go up and down, and they're huge 1 minute, and then they're kind of forgotten about the next. Animal's always been there very consistently.
And I like their image. Their image is kind of like a hardcore. Nobody ever has anything bad to say about Animal. So
yep.
I was really excited, really thankful to have that opportunity.
Yeah, so, I hope I'm visualizing you in the cage though, mate, doing some 6-plate benching.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right then, mate. Take care, mate, and all the best to the family, and I'll speak to you very soon.
All right, Giles. Take care.
Thank you, Shawn. Bye-bye, mate. Bye. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we are joined with Theo Leguerrier and Florent. Yay! And he said au revoir then. Bonsoir. How you doing, guys?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. Well, I believe your friend Florian is going to translate because I think your English is very good, Theo. So he's going to fill in the gaps if we have any problems with the English.
Yeah. And excuse me for that, for the follower and the fan of bodybuilding. I rock that for the next time.
Yeah. To be honest, I think we're gonna have no problems. Carlin, do you think? I think his English is very good. Well, firstly, you did the British Grand Prix on Wednesday. You really impressed me, and I want to get to know more about you as an athlete. So, Theo, obviously you're a pro, but do you want to tell us about some of your contest history?
Je veux savoir ton historique de compétition, savoir un peu plus sur ton parcours. En fait.
Okay, in amateur, I compete in the IFBB before the session, and I compete in World IFBB in open bodybuilding. I'm placed 5, yeah. 05, the same year of Blessing Ayubidu, you know. And after I tried to get my pro card in San Marino, I'm placed 4. After I win my class in Tunisia, and I lost the card in the overall for 1 point. And I take my pro card in Las Vegas in the Olympia amateur.
Okay.
2008. Okay, the same year of Shawn win the Shando. And after,
2018, you turned pro in Las Vegas at the Amateur Olympia.
Yeah, I win my class in overall.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, cool. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's the good. The souvenir, c'est
memories.
The good memories, yes. And after I compete in the pro directly in Italy and Romania. This is c'était une erreur.
A mistake.
Yeah, this is a mistake because this is too short and my physique is too tired and actually it's so long and well. And now I compete in the British Grand Prix. This is my first competition since 2 years.
Oh, first competition in 2 years. That's why I'm not too aware of you. So, I mean, you look great. So what was that like? Because obviously the show was taken from the Saturday to Wednesday. Was that stressful for you?
No, because I'm not a stressed guy.
Cool. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Okay. And this is the same for the whole athlete, you know?
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
What's the problem? Because this is for whole, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I just try to give my best. And the stress is just...
ce serait une mauvaise chose en plus. A bad thing.
Yeah, the stress is just a bad thing more for that.
Yeah. How old are you, Theo? You look quite young.
What?
What's French for? What's French
okay,
for?
I'm 28. Sorry.
28. You're 28.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're already, you know, you're looking good as a pro at 28. You turned pro. You're 26. Yeah. So how long have you been competing for? How many years in total?
Oh, my first competition in 20. What? 20.
Mm-hmm.
20 years.
So it was like 8 years ago?
So 2012.
Yeah. Yes, I compete in the junior class in France. And after I moved to the Open.
Yeah. So you're prepped by Mauro Sassi, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Mauro. How long have you been working with Mauro at Team Stones?
This is the first time for the show.
Okay.
This is the first competition with him, and I prepare with Mauro since 2 years. I make the choice because for me my problem this is a conditioning. And the whole athlete of Mauro is very conditioning.
Yeah.
And this is why, because I call Mauro. Mm-hmm. And this is a great guy. Comment on dit, je l'ai croisé plusieurs fois auparavant.
I saw him a lot of time before.
I saw a lot of time before, and all of time. This is very cool, very nice. In amateur, hi Theo, how are you? And he gave me a good impression, you know, and all the athletes, it's in the condition.
Yeah. So what was your height and weight on Wednesday?
Quel poids je faisais?
Taille et ton poids mercredi.
Je faisais 116 kilos. Donc,
kilos is fine.
116.
116 kilos. How tall?
1,78, 1m80.
Ouais, 180.
118, yeah, 118, approximately.
118. I don't know how tall is that in 5'8", 5'9"? Figure it out. Come on. I'm trying to get an idea of, because you're a very thickly muscled guy. You're a very big guy, you know?
metric system.
118. I've just.
In feet. This is 5'10".
So you're 5'10" and 118 kilos on stage.
Yeah.
Okay, so if that's about 240, 250, that's better. You're 5'10", about 250, 28 years old. That's a pretty good body weight, good thickness. So one thing I want to know about is, firstly, whereabouts in France are you from?
Il me dit. Can you repeat, please?
Where in France are you from? Where are you from?
Lyon.
Where?
Lyon.
Say slower.
Lyon. Yeah, this is la troisième peut-être, Ville-de-France.
The third biggest city in France.
Okay. I need to brush up on my geography then. Sorry about that. So is that north or south?
You know the Paul Bocuse?
Nope.
No? Ah.
Sorry.
It's a city of light.
Okay. I'll go and do some.
Beat Manchester City last year in the football.
Okay then. So I want to know about this really, really good posing, because your posing routine last week, for me, I think it was, along with Samson Dauda, I think it was the best posing routine in the whole contest. Why? Where has this come from? What's the splits all about? Have you a dance background? What tell us?
This is just inspiration for me. The bodybuilding, that's the posing,
Yeah.
That's not just. Increase my mass muscle and my symmetry. This is a posing too. This is a heart, and this is a important part of the athlete, of the show. And for comment on dit pour être honnête? To be honest, j'ai improvisé quoi.
I
improvise the posing.
Okay, you improvise. Hang on a minute. You didn't put a routine together.
No.
What? Oh, come on. I don't want to hear this. You're a really good poser. You're putting poser routine that good together, and you're just making it up on the spot, improvising. No. Come on, man. Oh, man, really?
Yeah, the last night of the show, Last night of the show, I just make my music. I cut the music. I call my brother, my little brother. I say, cut me the music, please, in the 1 minute 8 to the 1 minute 15, please, and send me. And tomorrow, I give the choreography.
Theo, I'm impressed, but I'm also disappointed, because if your posing ability is that good, just think about how good your posing could be. Mate, that was a really good routine. And I find it. It's like Cedric McMillan. Cedric McMillan is a very good poser, and he said he makes it up as he goes along as well on stage.
Il
t'a dit que c'était un bon posing, et que Cedric McMillan, il a dit que c'était impressionnant.
Ah, very nice. Okay, yeah. And I promise, for the Romania, I rock the posing. Okay?
Oh, see, that's what I want to hear. Because singing. So my next question was, what's your next contest? So you're doing Romania.
Yeah.
You're doing Romania.
Yeah. I'm in.
Fantastic. So what about, are you going to have any problems with flying? Because I know that UK is blacklisted. We have to go via another country? Because I know Regan Grimes is stuck in, he had to go to Poland and then to Romania.
Yeah, I just have the restriction for the French guys. I just I want to have a PCR test, and it's just possible to stay in Romania just a 3 day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because comment dirais-je plus, more 3 day, it's impossible, or you make a quarantine.
Okay.
Okay. Donc it's okay just for 3 days.
Right. Okay. So you got to get in and then get out.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you feeling? Do you think you'll be looking better in Romania than you were for the British Grand Prix?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I think the base is it's very nice. It's very cool. Mauro, it's satisfied, and me too.
Yeah.
I try to give a better version of me.
Yeah. Oh, good. Well, fantastic. So, French bodybuilding really it's looking quite good. You've got Morgan Asti, you've got yourself, Theo Leguerrier, you've got Florian Poisson. I know he lives in Rome, but he's French. Lionel Biecki. Any other good French bodybuilders? I mean, it's pretty much on the rise at the moment.
T'as dit que tous les bodybuilders français, t'as dit que c'était en train de monter en France, en gros.
Yeah, this is a good period for the French bodybuilding. Because I have a good athlete in classic too.
Okay.
So because he have one athlete, he qualified to Olympia. This is second in Alicante in classic physique.
Okay.
And this is a nice period for the French bodybuilding.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like Morgan Asti, like I said, Morgan Asti's very good. He's, he looked fantastic at the Arnold Classic. Lionel Biecki, I don't know what he's up to at the moment, but because French bodybuilding, there was a lot going on, and now it seems to be there's a good amount of athletes coming through.
Il dit que c'était un petit peu la merde dans le bodybuilding français et que ça commence à revenir petit à petit.
Yeah, because this is a really good shit. Yeah, since 2 years ago, and now this is just the debut to the next period. I think the sun rising.
yeah. I mean, and also Anne Munn as well in women's physique. She's very good. She won Alicante.
Yeah, Anne is very, very, very impressive.
Yeah. Do you know any of them, or have you trained with any of them, or are you kind of all in different parts of France?
No, different parts of France.
Okay.
Yeah, before, since 2 or 3 years, I trained with Morgan in the same gym.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, the little Morgan. No.
Yeah. He's trying to get me to. He wants me to set up a training shoot with him and The Rock because he calls himself the Big Rock. So he wants to train with Dwayne Johnson. So he says, "Can I help make that happen?" So I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
Because in 3 years ago, Morgan, Lionel, Stanimal, Stan?
Yeah.
So, and me, I'm in the same team, same sponsor. And,
okay.
Yeah.
What company's that? Is you still with those guys, or?
Oh, this is Eric Favre,
Oh, Eric Favre, yeah.
Yeah, since that in the case, all the person, it's
yeah. Is he okay now, Eric Favre? I know obviously they had that situation. Is he okay, or?
Est-ce que Eric Favre ça s'est arrangé?
Oh, I think comment dire, un peu.
A bit.
Well, a bit, just a bit, yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, because he's a good guy and he was a big supporter of the French bodybuilders like yourself and other athletes, and I just hope he's doing okay,
Yeah, et puis comment. Dis-moi.
Il a dit que c'était un
supporter de bodybuilding. De toute façon, on souhaite du mal à personne. We don't wish the bad things for the guy.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're doing Romania, obviously trying to qualify for next year's Olympia. Have you given any more thought to any other contests? Either, well, probably not this year, but for next year, have you thought yet?
No, because I want to promote myself in the Romania, like the British Grand Prix for the Jews see me, and after I want to comment dire, to rest and gagner du muscle and gain some muscle mass for the next show and comment dire, growing in the classement.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't look the competition because in this time I don't say in the period when the show comment aura lieu quoi.
When the show will be.
Yeah, when the show will be.
Right. Okay. So you don't know beyond Romania what your next show is.
I don't know.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, have you given any thought? Do you think it'll be Europe or do you think it'll be America? Obviously, we don't really know, do we? With the pandemic, I suppose it's tricky.
Yeah, for the moment, it's not possible to travel in America. I want.
Yeah.
I want because I'm a good friend of Stan. He called me to come on. Well, comment dirais-je, let's go compete in America.
Yeah, I suppose yes. It's hard to plan too far ahead, is it, at the moment?
Yeah. Without the COVID, I think I go to the America in the next week just for train here and comment dire, rencontrer meet some athlete and make a photo and video for the YouTube and yeah.
Good. Well, you got to, like I said, you're a new face. I think you look fantastic at the British Grand Prix. I'm excited to see what you'll be bringing in Romania. And just like I said, we want to give you some publicity because you're, like I said, you really kind of caught my eye last week. I was like, who is this guy? And you know, were you happy with your placing?
Il dit en gros qu'il était impressionné par ce que tu as fait derrière et tout, et il ne te connaissait pas vraiment, donc du coup ça l'a surpris. Et
si j'étais content de ma place.
De ta place, ouais.
Oh yeah, this is a good placement for me. This is a return. This is my first show. Yeah. I'm happy. I think it's possible to take the fourth place, and this is not. This is okay. C'est comment dire? This is possible to switch or not. This is not. This is okay for me. I think I'm not full in the British Grand Prix. A little flat, you know, because I want to have the good condition, and I'm not full. And my attitude in the debut in the show, this is I'm not in the fight start the show.
Right.
I think because the Luxembourg honor it's too long, you know, too long for comment dire, concentrer un peu.
To be focused.
Yeah, to be focused because this is emotional seconds and let me out the show, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, and, I did.
Yeah, and this is why I think I don't take the throw.
Right. Okay. Well, it was a good lineup. I thought everyone looked fantastic. It was a surprise to see you as well, to see a new guy in there, because obviously we knew, you know, Samson, and we knew the British guys, the Jamie the Giant, you know, Jamie Christian, and had James Hollinshead and Mark Hector. So what did you think about the British guys? Do you think what was your opinion on all the British competitors?
James, it's so brutal. You know, Jamie, for the tall guy, it's very good. It's complete.
Complete.
I think for the tall guy, it's a complete athlete, and I think Mark is the future for me because the structure, the genetic. I think, he have a good time. Comment dire devant lui?
A good time ahead.
Well, a good time ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a fantastic show, and I think you were you were a good addition to it. So we're really excited for you for Romania to see what you'll be bringing, and hope you'll be being fuller and you'll be feeling more relaxed because of you're getting there in plenty of time. So I wanted to come get you on and just, like I said, give you some publicity because I think you're going to do very well this next few years, Theo.
Qui a dit à la fin? Il a dit qu'il pensait que tu allais être très bien dans les prochaines années.
Thank you. Yeah, this is now it's important for me to comment dire, d'être professionnel, to be a professional. You know, this is a debut. I have the opportunity to make the interview with you and social media interesting of my profile, and this is a time for to be a professional and to improve this in the next show and in the next time.
Yeah. So anyone you'd like to thank, Theo?
Est-ce que tu voudrais remercier des gens?
My coach,
Mauro Sassi.
Yeah, Mauro Sassi. Ciao a tutti.
Okay.
And you. Thank you for the audience. Thank you for that, and thank you for all the fans and my follower to follow me since since comment dirais-je, tout ce temps-là, quoi.
Since love this time.
Yeah, since love this time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think you're doing great, mate. Like I said, you only turned pro 2 years ago. You're 28. I think you're off to a great start. And like I said, we're really, really excited to see what we'll be bringing in Romania next week. So, yeah.
I'm excited too.
yeah. No, and I want to see you put an even better pose routine together, please. Because if you're making that up on the spot, that's very impressive. But you can do a lot better, I think.
The video cut a bit. Can you repeat, please?
Okay, I've completely forgot what I just said, actually. So, just like I said, I'm really excited to see what you'll be putting together with pose routine, everything next week. And like I said, all the best for next week, and we'll speak to you very soon, Theo.
Yeah.
T'as dit qu'il te souhaitait tout le meilleur et que vous allez sûrement vous revoir prochainement.
Yeah, thank you very much. I promise you, I rock my posing routine.
Yeah, come on. None of this pose routine the night before. I think you can, because like I said, the splits and everything, it was a great posing, and it's a lost art, and I was happy to see such a good posing routine together, you know. It's so I think we can, I think we can expect even better next week in Romania.
Yeah, it's time to hit big, you know.
Yeah. All right then, mate. Well, great to speak to you, and like I said, all the best for next week, mate.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Theo, and thank you, Florian, for helping fill in the gaps there, mate. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right then, bye-bye, Theo. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On The Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we are joined by new British Grand Prix Classic champion, Laszlo Kiraly. Yay!
Hi, guys.
How you doing, Laszlo?
Thank you very much for the invitation.
That's my pleasure, mate. My pleasure. Now, I'll be honest, I know nothing about you. All I know is I saw these pictures from the British Grand Prix on Wednesday, and I thought, what a fantastic physique. You beat Mike Summerfield, you know, who was the favourite going in, and you obviously qualified for next year's Olympia. So do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
1 year ago, I got my pro card in Portugal.
Okay.
The amateur Mr. Olympia in Classic. And after that, I have a chance to compete in Portugal, but I saw the pro division in Classic Physique, and for first look, I saw they much bigger than me. So I want to prep a whole year to my pro debut, and this happened last week. So my prep was so good and very well built for a long-term process. And then Ferding helped me to put on a lot of muscle in 1 year to compete in pro division.
So what is your height and your weight cutoff as a classic, and what did you weigh on Wednesday?
On Wednesday, my weight was around 106 kilogram, I think, 105.
So you're quite tall.
Yeah.
How tall?
180, 87 or 88.
Wow. So that's like 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. So you're very tall. So you have a good frame to fill out for classic. So how long have you been competing for?
Sorry?
How many years have you been competing for?
I started competing in my country, just in a local show, like in my junior years. So when I was around 80 years old, 90. And I've been junior titles in my country, and some junior. I won a junior world championships, not in IFBB Federation, some amateur leagues. After the local shows, I start. My first IFBB show was in Portugal when I get my pro card.
Okay.
And after this, my first pro show was this in London.
Right. So how old are you now, Laszlo?
Now 27.
So you're only 27, and you're already going to the Olympia.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously that must be a huge deal for you to go from turning pro last year, You've now won the British Grand Prix. You're going to the Olympia in 2021. What was it? Now, obviously, the news was we have the lockdown in the UK. It happened on Thursday. So the show got moved from the Saturday or the Sunday to the Wednesday. What was that like for your travel? How did it affect you? Was that stressful?
Very stressful, yeah.
Yeah.
It made the whole process so complicated because, in bodybuilding, the timing is very important. So for the stage, timing your shape, so show your best, your sharpest side, your body. And the competition, the changing with the date made, and the travel with the lockdown was very hard to make it as good as we plan. So we need to change so fast. I was a bit scared about the lockdown. So I sent an email to IFBB because I checked the gov.uk. If I'm an athlete, I can compete without lockdown. So the IFBB give a special paper to me and my coach with our passport.
Okay.
Part of the IFBB Federation, we can compete without lockdown. So
right, okay.
My secret weapon if I get lockdown. So
right.
Just go to compete.
Right.
So we are prepping for everything.
So when did you? Because were you due into? What day were you originally due to fly in on?
Originally,
what was it? What was the day you were supposed to fly in on? Because you had to change all your flights, surely.
I think around. We want to fly on Wednesday or Thursday. I think the first date. So
right.
And the date become the competition date.
Yeah.
So we fly on Monday.
Yeah. So where did you fly from to, and where to?
From Budapest.
Budapest.
So we find a direct flight to London. So
okay.
We can manage this so well.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously you won. I mean, so but you obviously you had your day timed for Saturday and the Sunday, and you had. I mean, everyone was in the same situation. So
yeah.
I mean, having to sort of just book your flights early and fly in. When did you fly back out again,
though? We fly back and right after the competition next morning.
Right.
UK, but. We need a very fast decision because I have another plan to compete in Romania.
Ah,
but,
okay.
The organizers told me not to any chance for this competition. So the IFBB told me the competition sure in London. So we tried and we did it. So
yeah, you've won. I mean, that's all that matters. Are you doing Romania?
No. Because I have my qualification.
Yeah.
This year was so hard for me. I need a little rest. Need a little recovery process after a long season. Because January or February, I think in January, middle of January, we must start the preparation for the Olympia. Because after the stage, we analyzing my weak points. So I need to work more because I want to represent my country and. Make the best Olympia place to my country in the history. So I'm really excited about this. So
are you literally what are you on the limit, or have you still got room to grow from now until next year?
I can't put on so much muscle, but I can change my symmetry a little bit.
Okay.
Build my body in a good way. So hamstrings. Just focus on the weak points. This is the key.
So, sorry, did I ask what was your what's the cutoff for your height? What is the cutoff, and what did you weigh this week?
The cutoff process.
Yeah, the cutoff. The cutoff weight. I mean, what's the maximum weight you can be, and what were you on stage?
I think my maximum weight on the stage is 108, maybe.
Okay.
Or 109, but I'm not sure.
Okay. So what did you weigh? You weighed 108 on stage?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're on the limit.
Near the limit.
Yeah.
But I can be a little bit better condition in next year because the quality can be a bit better. So this game, guys, not about numbers, about the look. So
yeah. So who's your coach?
My coach is Stan Efferding, from the founder of the Vertical Diet.
Okay, I'm not familiar with this person.
He's a very good guy.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty well coached, I think. He taught me a lot about the bodybuilding. I'm very happy for the chance he coached me, and I think he's the best.
Yeah. Well, he's obviously doing a good job because, I mean, like I said, in a year, you've gone from winning your pro card to winning your first pro show, qualifying for the Olympia. You're 27 years old. Your physique is very complete. I've looked at your photos. I mean, your conditioning was absolutely fantastic, and I was really impressed with your shape. And for a tall guy as well, because Chris Bumstead's very tall. I mean, is he about 6 foot tall, 6'1"?
Around, yeah.
Yeah. So I think we need more good tall guys in the classic.
Yeah. So I'm here.
Yeah, good. I mean, I saw there was one guy at the Alicante, and I think he was 6'8". Was he 6'8"? I think.
He's a Spanish guy.
Yeah, he's huge. He's huge.
Yeah, he's huge. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I think he will compete in Romania, but I'm not sure.
Okay. So who's your favorite classic physique? Who do you think is the perfect embodiment of the classic pro physique?
In this era or from the past?
Both.
I think now Chris Bumstead, because he's the best in this category now. So, but the absolutely best classic guy, I think Lee Haney. Lee Haney is the best.
I've heard people say that he is what they consider to be a classic physique, even though he was kind of the biggest guy of his era.
Yeah, he was the biggest, the best, the quality, the presentation, the attitude.
It's funny to say. It's funny to think that like I said, he was like 240 when all 240, 250 pounds on stage when all the other guys were like 220, 210, 200, under 200. And then you've got Lee Haney, who people categorize as like a classic physique, tiny waist.
Yeah. Maybe Lee Haney is the last guy from this era because he was so big. So
Cool.
He was Arnold, maybe.
Yeah. So do you
Arnold and Frank Zane is the typical classic.
Do you think Frank Zane would be too small for classic if he was around today?
It's hard to figure out because Frank Zane looks a little bit smaller, but in the poses, when he hit the pose, he's so muscular, so hard, and with the presentation and with the good genetics, he can beat some bigger guys. So I don't know.
Yeah. So maybe, do you think Breon Ainsley can win the Olympia again? Because I know he really wants, because he's won it 2 times and he wants to go for a 3rd win. Do you think he can get it back off Chris?
Very good question.
What do you think? Yes or no?
I think no.
Okay.
I think no, because Chris' physique become a bit better than last year. The only thing we need to focus on is the condition. So if we bring a prime condition better than last year, I think no room for other competitors. But this is my...
It was very close. I mean, I was there. I mean, Chris at the judging I had a kind of in 3rd place at the pre-judging. And then at the night show, he came in fuller and his tan was better. And he won, but it was very close between him and Breon and George Peterson, who's now stepped up to the 212.
Yeah.
So what do you do for a living, Laszlo?
What? Sorry?
What do you do for a living, a job?
I'm a personal trainer too.
Okay. In Budapest?
No. In my city.
Okay. Where's that?
Kaposvár, near the lake, near the biggest lake in my country. So 1.5 hour, 2 hour by car.
Yeah.
From
Okay. So you're still looking in very good condition. I don't think you've been eating a lot since, well, it's only a few days, only 4 days, but you're still staying in very good condition because, I mean, you haven't, like I said, you haven't eaten a lot of food since Wednesday, I'm taking it.
I think this is the part of the journey. Ronnie Coleman said after the competition, after his, I think, third Mr. Olympia, the next, the Olympia night, he ate some pizza and something like this, and the next day he continued chicken, rice, and beef and quality food, because it's very unhealthy after the competition when we gain a lot of water.
Yeah.
So it's harmful for the body. So after the competition, I eat some junk food, and now I'm focused on my quality food, because for the recovery process, much better the quality food. So I think part of the journey. Good. We teach ourselves to not eating a lot of junk after the show, because it's very unhealthy. So
are you back training now?
No, I will start training next week.
Okay.
Very intensity, a bit higher volume, kind of active recovery, just move my blood tissues, mad stuff, just really relax for January.
Good. So obviously, I mean, I imagine you're very, very happy that you've qualified this far out from next year's Olympia.
Sorry?
I bet you are very happy that you've qualified already so early for next year's Olympia.
Yeah, I'm very happy and satisfied, but I'm so motivated, very motivated, because this is my opinion and my friends. So my genetics so this category is very good for me.
Yeah.
I can move the weights so easy to the show day, and if I can make my weak points a bit better, I think I get a good place on the Olympia.
Well, you've got what is that? 13. Got over a year now to prep for next year's Olympia. You're all qualified, all nice and early.
Yeah. I don't know the Olympia next year. Maybe I hope in September or December. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure the date, but.
Are you happy that if you had the choice, would you have rather qualified for this year's Olympia or for next year's Olympia with that win on Wednesday?
For next year.
Oh, really? You'd prefer it?
Yeah.
Okay,
because I don't want to compete in this year at the Olympia.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because my physique is not ready, still not ready for the Olympia.
Yeah.
It's just for the qualification. The two things is different. So if you get the pro card, is not equal that you're a good pro. You just get your entrance to big league.
Yeah.
So I think after 1 year, I will be ready for the Olympia.
Yeah. Well, I think it worked out great for you. It worked out great for James Hollinshead, who won the Open, because he'd already qualified by winning Alicante. So he's qualified for this year's Olympia, next year's Olympia. It's an unusual year because obviously we've had the pandemic, and the Olympia was moved back from September to December. Shows were moved from state to state, and but somehow we've everything's managed to still go ahead, and you've managed days of the shows moved 4 days. When lockdown was announced, and somehow we've managed to adapt and make it work. So, Laszlo, I'm really excited for you for next year now, mate. So you can you got plenty of time to make the improvements you want to do, make the put some size on if you want to, and just come in and make a really big impact at the Olympia next year.
Yeah, this is my plan to make a big impact.
Cool. All right then, Laszlo. Well, I wanted to get you on because I was really impressed when you because like Mike Summerfield, I was thinking, oh, no one's beating this guy, no one is beating him, and then you just kind of came in out of nowhere, and I was like, who is this guy? I looked at your picture, I was like, holy shit, this guy's really good. So I'm happy for your win, mate, and we'll make sure to keep an eye out for you next year at the Olympia.
I speak just about Mike. As I spoke with him after the competition.
Okay.
I think in this year he need to focus on the Olympia, his first Olympia. No chance before my Olympia I compete, because I want 100% to make my prime condition without any other competition, traveling, water cut or something like this. Just focus on the Olympia.
Yeah.
So I hope he can bring his best shape for this year Olympia, and he won't be tired from a lot of competition before. Because in 1 year you can be totally in prime time 4 times.
Yeah. So where did Mike qualify then? Mike qualified from in points, or because he's going to the Olympia this year, isn't he?
Yeah. And this year he will, but I don't know. I think he will compete in Romania next week.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's a good opportunity to qualify. If you're already qualified to, like you said, James Holland said, he thought, well, I'll step into this one. I can qualify not just for this year's Olympia by my other win in Alicante, but I can qualify for next year as well.
Yeah.
Great. That's great. 2 Olympias. Why not?
Good. Yeah. Some people can manage this way, but it's not me.
Okay. All right, then, Laszlo. Well, like I said, I want to give you some publicity and put a bit of spotlight on you, mate. So all the best for the prep over the next 13 months, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.
Thank you very much, sir, and the best luck for you too.
Okay. Thank you, Laszlo.
Very much.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we are joined all the way from California, the GOAT, Per Bernal. Yes! Yay! Go on, you got to clap. Per, you got to.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You've got to clap yourself, mate, because you are the G.O.A.T.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
That's all right, mate. Well, Per, I mean, we used to be colleagues. I always used to like boasting about that. I'm colleagues with Per Bernal, you know. But I wanted to get you on, mate, because I mean, what a career you've had as you really are regarded as the #1 photographer in the entire fitness industry. So I don't know even where to start. Where do we start, Khalim? Should we go right back to the start when he took his very first photo on his Polaroid? So Per, where do we start? So how long have you actually been in the industry for, in the actual fitness industry?
So are we talking about lifting the first dumbbell? Maybe that's a good thing. I started when I was 6. Can you believe it's like 1980, I think, 1980. And by 1984, I was published the first time through our mutual friend, Ove Rytter, of course. I think you met him, right?
Who, sorry?
Yeah, Ove Rytter. He's in
Ritter.
BK Sports Magazine. Yes, BK Sports Magazine. So that's how my humble beginnings in Sweden. Yeah, it's been a trip, and it ain't over. I think the best is yet to come, to be quite honest.
I love that attitude. So you were, because I started following the industry, the sport, buying the magazines in mid 1990. When did you really start making because obviously that was 84, so there was a 6-year gap. When did you really start making waves in the kind of fitness industry?
I think I did an internship at 18 at this magazine, BK Sports Magazine, and while being there, I asked politely if I could do because I picked up a camera just like a year before, and I just asked, can I do a story? Can I shoot a story for you and write it? And Ove said, yeah, absolutely, go ahead. So I shot. I think he was from UK original. That bodybuilder. It was a girl and a guy and a girl that I shot, and the thing was published. And when I saw that, after 1 year of photography, I just kind of felt, this is it. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Because it felt so honest. Because it's like, I understood, like, if I do a good job, I'm going to look good. I'm going to make everybody look good. If I do a shitty job, I got to own up to it, So it was just like an amazing thing. So I started shooting in 84, went to a photo school, and then by 85, I was working full time at this magazine. At the end, I was writing maybe 60-70% of the magazine. Just how you did, I was a reporter first, I illustrate. Yeah, no.
I didn't know this, Per. I didn't know this.
Yeah, exactly.
So hang on a minute. Can I call myself the British Per Bernal then?
Yeah, exactly. So I was actually a reporter, illustrating my articles with my own photography. So that's how it started.
Yeah.
So it's been a trip. So by 87, 88, my things, like after a couple of years, my images start popping up in Muscle Mag and Muscle and Fitness and all that stuff. And by 89, I remember he helped me, Ove Rytter, the editor and the publisher, he helped me write a letter to Joe and, you know, ask him if I could come and work for him. So by 1990, I met Joe for the first time. And he was my role model, my father figure and everything. Because when I started lifting, you know, Muscle and Fitness was the Bible, right? So amazing. I mean, it was amazing. So I came to the US, started working with Joe in 1990. So it's been,
So you moved to America so obviously you were based in Sweden beforehand.
Yes, like I grew up in Sweden. I grew up in Peru, actually. My dad is Peruvian. I'm half Peruvian, half Swedish. So we lived there for 4 or 5 years, and we moved back to Sweden, and I, you know, so that's where I resided. Yeah. So it's what a trip, right?
So. Because I didn't know about the writing. That's one thing I didn't know about my. I should have boned up on my Per trivia, but I didn't know that you used to write.
I'm not on Wikipedia yet.
Yeah, we can just change that.
No, so I need to put a bio out there. But I remember by 1985, so I was translating a lot of articles from, you know, Muscle Fitness. We had the right to do that, and so I was kind of a little bit of a technical geek writer, you know, it was a lot of biomechanics and stuff. So I've befriended someone in Sweden, like an excellent trainer, very smart man. So I co-wrote like a book on biomechanics, like training in biomechanics, you know, angles and all that stuff. So I was pretty good at things, you know. Yeah. So I know a lot.
Yeah,
that's a show, but whatever.
So when did you kind of move away from the writing and just really focus purely on the photography?
I'll tell you something funny. So I'm not going to name names, but a certain person, very influential in my life, one of the owner, he told me, we had a meeting. I never told anyone this. So, but this kind of, it's not a headline news. But anyway, I remember he said, Per, you got to realize you're a writer. Like, you're never going to become a photographer. And when he told me that, I was like, fuck.
No way. Really?
No, he said, true story. So he said, like, we have you here. You're here to, because he probably saw my passion for photography. And I wonder, is this some kind of revenge from my side? Maybe that's kind of childish. But anyway, it's a good story. So he told me, like, you're not going to become a photographer. You're a writer. You know, that's what you should focus on. But I had other plans, you know. My love is photography. I can write, but it was always tough, you know.
Yeah.
It's like with photography, it just flows. I wouldn't say it's effortless because it takes like a manifestation. You really got to get into it. It's not just, you can't just take a camera, take pictures and expect good shots. You really got to put your heart in it. But it flows when I do. But writing, oh my God, you know, I remember like day of deadlines, I was sleeping under the desk. I was like fighting, just kind of, you know, just writing the initial part of the article, you know, over and over again. But that's such is life, you know.
Yeah. So what was it like those early days working for G.O.A.T?
It was more like on I would say it was a little bit more of a freelance basis. It wasn't contracts at the time, but it was, I mean, I was super happy to be, but it was a little bit of politics, I gotta admit, but that's such is life. I mean, I came from Sweden and, you know, I don't know what I thought, you know, you got to follow your heart, right? So I came over, but it wasn't easy. You know, it's never easy. It's like if you have a dream, you just gotta go for it. And we tried to move 5 times to the US.
Really? Because I know, I remember speaking to Kevin Horton, and he tried, and whatever happened with his move, it failed. And I mean, obviously Peter McGough, you know, other people like yourself who I respect in the industry. Yeah. You know, he had the call from G.O.A.T, and it's kind of that was obviously the obvious move. It's like, right, you've got to go from wherever you are, you've got to move to California, and exactly where you're living now. And that's always the dream, you know?
Yeah, you just got to, if you want to, you know, play with the big guys, you got to move up to Mount Olympus in a way, right? Because it's like, and that's what was driving me. I wanted to see, you know, what am I, you know, I think everybody is asking themselves, how good am I? How far can I take it? And, you know, for me, it was like, I want to be number one, you know, I want to be the best. So it was, you know, ego driven. I had to prove something, but that's what drives young men and women. And that's why I came over, and it wasn't any other place you could go to. The elite was here, right?
Yeah.
And Joe was here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think around 1990 when you moved, who the main, because I'm trying to remember back when I was 15 years old reading the magazines, Muscle Mag and Muscle Fitness Flex, who the main photographers, who the best photographers were around that time. I mean, there was...
I would say, Bill Dobbins was big.
Yes, Bill Dobbins, yeah.
Was Chris Lund around then? I'm trying to remember. Chris Lund was huge.
Chris Lund was mid-90s, wasn't he? He was kind of like...
I remember Chris, when I was shooting for... like BK towards the end of the 80s, he entered the scene because I remember we shot guys and we kind of followed. They had like a European tour, so part of the tour, people came to Sweden or Finland and we shot him there. So I remember he was around, absolutely. But I remember Bill Dobbins. Who else? Bill. He's the name that pops up the most. Yeah. But there was others too.
Yeah. Who would you say? Because I'll give you my top 5. I would say off the top of my head, the 5 best photographers are yourself, Kevin Horton,
thank you,
Alex Ardenti, Chris Bailey from the UK is very good, and I'm trying to think of one more. I don't want to do anyone any disservice. Chris Lund. There you go. There's my top 5.
Yes.
There's my top 5.
Yes. Yeah. So it's kind of. I think Chris was amazing. I think Chris invented hardcore.
In what way?
Because he kind of shot it very raw. And there was a joke, I don't know if it's true, but, I'm just pulling from my memory. Like I think apparently he was working with the police. He was a photographer and he was going to crime scenes. Mm-hmm. So people always said he was great at shooting bodies, from the beginning.
My God.
Which is it's a little bit macabre. I mean, that's just what I remember. It was a bad joke. It's kind of maybe in bad taste. But anyway, but Chris was, he was on a level on his own. And he had the respect from all the guys. So he was the guy that I was looking for because I wanted to kind of like hardcore bodybuilding. That was the thing. When it came to artistry, there was I wish I had prepared a little bit because, there was a photographer, was it Ken Marcus maybe? Did some beautiful work, more artistic.
What about David Paul?
Oh, I think he was amazing. He was very, very artistic, different. And I think what he was really good at, if he had an idea, I remember, seeing at G.O.A.T, we always spoke when we saw in a very respectful way. And he always, he had an idea. I remember, I think he shot Flex Wheeler in the desert, right?
Yes,
and
with the piano.
He takes like a grand piano and brings it out to the desert. Like if you've been in the industry for a while and you understand what it takes to do something like that, I have nothing but respect. So I think, that's the most important thing. It's you can have great ideas, but if you don't do anything about it, it's never going to happen. You have to manifest it, right? He had a great eye. I think I'm not going to say what people lack or not, but what I felt, he had so much potential, and it was just more like everybody, we have certain things we need to work with. And, the technical part, if he would have improved of that, he would have been probably the best in the industry forever, That's how I see it. And you forgot the guy from the 70s who shot
Art Zeller?
Arnold.
Art Zeller?
Yes, Art Zeller.
Yeah. Fantastic. All those beautiful old black and white shots there with the iconic pictures at the... Wow, how fantastic they were. All the black and white pictures of all the guys training together in their shorts and their vests and,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's very candid and it just happened and very organic. And I think that's beautiful.
So did you ever collaborate with any photographers in the early days?
It was it was very friendly. And in terms of collaboration, I really don't know. It's you set up shoots together and do it together. No, I don't think so. I think everybody was a little bit more it's different today because it's let's say you come up with a secret lighting. You don't want to share that.
Yeah.
Because at the time it was today you could work with filters. You could do so much stuff. There are so many different lights and everything. So you could change the looks. You could have one raw file and you can make hundreds of different looks that looks almost like different shoots if you know how to do it. But at the time, it's like you had film, it was stuck, you could push it, pull it, or cross process it if it was color.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it was lighting. It was very technically based, so you need to know your shit. It's like it wasn't like you could save yourself. So I think people like myself, I was secretive. Absolutely, I didn't want to.
Yeah.
It's like, you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
But it's, yeah.
I remember.
So I didn't say much, but it was nice. When you saw, you had a good time. You're joking and all that stuff, of course.
Yeah. So I remember Kevin Horton saying to me once, and I said, come on, Kevin. I said, you and Per really are. I says, you must be fighting for the #1 spot as the best photographer in the industry. And he said to me, he said, look, Giles, he says, I'll be honest. He says, in the industry, he says, as a photographer, he said, you're sometimes judged by the equipment you have. He said, let me give you some context. He says, I've got one of these battery packs and they cost, I don't know, $1,000 each. He says, Per's got like spares. He says, he's got them in his back room. He said, he's got like 10 of them. He was like really, so he says, he said, this guy's got so much equipment because he's so successful, so it was, so Kevin really gave you the nod on that one, mate.
So I was the best because of my equipment. That's good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
He said it was just a way to judge a photographer. It's how you're perceived.
Can I tell you something? It's like I should have saved my money instead, invested in stocks and bonds. No, just kidding. Or bought something else. But I somehow I made the connections like from early, because I was always, when I started, you buy a cheap camera, you trade it in, you get something better. So in my mind, and I think it was true at the time, because I'm going back to what I said, that you kind of create looks with the gear you have, like your, like your technical know-how and stuff. So it was actually, to me, it always made sense. I always got to be in the foreground. I mean, competitive. You do everything you can do as a photographer, disciplined, and, you work hard. And then on top of that, if you bring in the newest gear or the newest light thing, you have a fresh look. So it's true. I have too much stuff. I have a lot of stuff. But today is like, let me tell you, I did a shot just the other day, like in a rain room with a beautiful girl. And I just had it was my mirrorless Nikon camera. And I have 2 small flashes. That's it. And you see ambience, and it's like amazing. And lighting looks beautiful. So different times.
Yeah. So I mean, 36 years you've been working, as a photographer in the industry. What was your favorite era and why?
I think the 90s was pretty amazing, because I remember, because we're going back and forth. I worked with Joe, and after that I did a short stint with Vince McMahon in the WBF, and I started working with Steve Blackman in Muscular Development. So I was going back and forth, and it's kind of interesting because, we were at Gold's Gym, and everybody was training at Gold's. Paul Dillett, Milo Sarchev, you name it, everybody was there, right? And it was like, and I didn't understand. So I remember I was shooting a particular bodybuilder. I'm not going to name names.
Come on, tell me.
No, I can't do that.
Okay.
And Steve, after the shoot, so how did the shoot go? Was it in good shape? And I said, and this was a sickness everybody had, and because our standard was astronomical, right?
Yeah.
And I remember saying it was a little bit smooth, it could have been better, blah, blah, blah. And then not long ago, I was looking at those pictures, and it was flawless.
Oh, wow.
It was flawless. I'm looking back, the dude was flawless. It's like, was I sick in the head or what? I mean, so we pushed it so hard. So I think the Magic era, I would say mid to late 90s, was fantastic. I think the guys were at the best because you had a combination of shape, size, conditioning, presentation. So I think it was the quality was just superb.
Yeah. Who's your top 3 favorite athletes you've ever shot?
Shot or I consider the best, or both? Well, so
just give us both.
Yeah, so it's obviously Ronnie Coleman was phenomenal, and it's going to be more than 3. So sorry, bro. So Ronnie Coleman was phenomenal. I shot him backstage a couple of times around Arnold and Olympia. Amazing. amazing. Those images is like most memorable. I think.
Sorry, what year? What year was your favorite with
I
running?
think it's like 2001. I think like at the Arnold and at the Olympia was his best. I think, you know, it was like less than 250. It was like 246, 248. People don't get it. I think I got an opportunity to shoot with Shawn Ray. We were shooting in California, like on the hills. Incredible shoot. Assigned by Joe Weider himself firsthand. Amazing. I think Jay Cutler, amazing stuff. I mean, The Rock has been amazing to shoot. And there's like Branch Warren, Johnny Jackson, amazing. So those are a lot of memorable shoots, but everything is a little bit different. But the era of the 90s, I think, when it comes to just kind of beauty and size, everything came together perfect.
Yeah.
The discipline the guys had and everything.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened. Maybe I fucked it up too, you know, with my photography, because it was so extreme, right? So I kind of promoted like a certain look. So you think about it, like if you look at bodybuilding, it's like a certain type of bodybuilders looks good in the gym, but if you take them outside, it's kind of awkward because they don't know how to pose in a way. And it's not a judgment. It's just like what I'm seeing, the way I see. And other bodybuilders, they might look beautiful, like in a certain size. Just the structure looks so beautiful when you take them outside. But in the gym, they're not as powerful. So it's kind of, I think what happened there, like after the night, like in the 2000, it kind of way, it was all gym based. So if you start looking at it, there is a reason for everything, of course.
What's your most memorable photo shoot?
I mean, I have, it's like,
pluck
it's
one.
like me
Pluck
asking,
one. Pluck one out of the air.
No, I mean, I think it's like the shoot I did with Shawn Ray, like in the hills, fantastic. The shoot I did with Ronnie backstage Olympia, fantastic. Like one of the first shoots I did with Rock is so memorable. Like when I was at Metroflex Gym with Johnny and Branch, amazing. There's so many memorable times. So I don't have a favorite. I have many favorites.
Yeah, and of course you, Phil Heath. Phil Heath.
That's like in the question. Of course,
Phil Heath.
Yes, but it's like with Phil, it's so like going to England, UK, and shoot with him. There was like it was an amazing journey, you know, so memorable. But the thing is with Phil Heath, it's almost like it's a fucking Romeo and Julia kind of a scenario, because when he was with, you know, when I was shooting with Steve, we didn't have access to Weider bodybuilders. So it was like, it was a stake, you know, either you with the Weider camp or you with the muscular development camp. So I never had access to him. So I shot him on stage and stuff, but it took a long time until I started working with AMI, like in 2014-15, that I really got to shoot with him.
Yeah.
Missed opportunities, right? So, and I remember I said like, oh, too bad we can't, you know, when we met backstage at like at Olympia or at the gym the day after the show, you know, always said, yeah, too bad we can't shoot together, blah, blah. It's just
yeah. Well, of course, Phil's coming back this year, because, I mean, we were on the tour, the Phil Heath tour last year, the Globe Muscle Pro Tour. And it was like, I honestly thought Phil was done. I thought that was it. I mean, he was kind of teasing us, saying, well, maybe I'll jump on a 6-week diet when I get home and do the 2019 Olympia. He didn't. And I think his legacy is done. From what we were speaking about the whole week, the whole 8-day tour, I thought, yeah, he's done. He's definitely not coming back. He's happy with his 7 Olympias, and he's moving on to all these different business opportunities. Were you happy? Were you excited that you heard he was coming back?
Of course, I think it's wonderful. It's like, if you still have gas in the tank, you just got to go for it. I mean, if he doesn't do it, if he really wants to do it, which I think he is, because he's a hungry lion, right? You're going to resent yourself for the rest of your life. You can't leave stones unturned, because it's going to haunt you. So, of course, I mean, I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be an interesting Olympia. I think, but if you kind of, I'm not going to say too much, because I have respect for all the guys, and you can never pull a winner. But I mean, he's one of the absolute strongest card. You know, if he comes in top dialed in, it's how do you want to do something about that package? And then you're looking at a whole package from top to bottom, right?
Yeah. Can you tell us anything about his new documentary?
One more time.
I'm trying to say it quietly. Can you tell us anything about his new documentary he's got coming out? Breaking Olympia.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing. To be honest, I don't know anything about it. I'm not in that project. I'm not involved in that project at this point. Okay. It could change. Yeah.
I thought you were filming some on the tour for that.
No. Oh, you mean last year?
Yeah.
I was shooting something. Who knows? Maybe something is going to be used. I don't know.
Well, I want a credit because I had that red camera and I did at least 5 minutes of filming whilst you were shooting.
Amazing.
I want a credit.
It came out. Yes.
Yeah, I'd one of Per's red cameras, and I mean they're just like, that's a serious bit of kit. There's one in the background there, isn't there?
Yeah.
The red camera. So
no. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. So who's your all-time favorite bodybuilder, physique-wise?
Once again, Frank Zane was who inspired me the most growing up. You know, he was my ideal. Like during the 80s, it was good ones. But I think Shawn Ray was fantastic. It's like, I think that, you know, Ronnie Coleman, Arnold, obviously. Mm-hmm. It's hard to kind of, I kind of always like the aesthetic of things. Yes. Yeah. I would say, like, if I had to pick one, I think Bob Paris, Frank Zane, that's the ideal physiques that I think was amazing, beautiful to look at.
In terms of creativity, because I've done shoots with bodybuilders and you literally have to tell them how to hit a front double bicep. You've got to literally physically move them. And you get other guys and they're just hitting poses and they're doing creative things and you're just documenting it and hoping that you get one or two nice images. Who was the one that surprised you the most when you worked with them in terms of their creativity and ease of working with them?
Oh, I think, all these guys, the 90s guys were amazing at, it was so instilled in them, you know, they're working closely with Joe and, you know, the power of posing. So there were so many good posers at the time. But I remember I was backstage at Olympia and I was shooting. Now I'm drawing a blank and I feel so... Here's a master poser. Now the name just popped up out of my head.
We'll get it.
Maybe you could edit this part, right?
What about Kevin Levrone? Because I always imagined him to be.
Kevin. I was thinking of Kevin.
Oh,
Kevin,
sorry. I looked in your brain.
You made us say no, Kevin. So I was shooting. You know, we had set up the studio, and it was time for Kevin, and he came over, and he just went through a trance. So he said, like, and he kind of just stood there, and I was like waiting. So, okay. Let's go, because, you know, we had to shoot all the guys. And then he's kind of, okay, I think I got it. And didn't have anything planned. And he just went through his posing, doing his shit. It was amazing. It was like magical couple of minutes, 3-4 minutes. And we were just shooting. It was just amazing. I think that's kind of the most impressive I've seen so close, you know. Amazing.
When I was 18 years old, the day after the British Grand Prix in 1994, Kevin was the one that I had a black and white picture I had of Dorian Yates that I printed from a guest posing, and I framed it and I wanted to give it to Dorian. And Kevin was looking at it and he was talking to me and he's like, man, he says, you should write and photograph for magazines. He said, you've got passion. And I went, really? And he says, yeah. I was sat with Charles Glass was sat with us. Not Charles Glass. Charles Blake.
Okay, Charles Blake. Okay.
Charles Blake, the Olympia stage designer, and then Peter McGough came over, and but Kevin was the one that kind of inspired me to kind of start what I was doing. You know, because I didn't really have that self belief at the time, and he was like, "No, you should do it." And I got home, and that's when I started my, you know, making moves and speaking to magazines, and you know, and they gave me an opportunity. You know, so that's when my journey started because of Kevin Levrone.
What a blessing!
Yeah,
amazing. So it's so important, like these larger than life people, when they talk to their fans, it changed lives. It's kind of he changed your blueprint. He gave you an idea, and you went with your passion, and you probably grew up in a small place, right?
Yes.
Or were you? Yes.
Yeah.
And now you're running 4 shows, and you're like the voice. It's like everything is kind of moving from print and more to online, and you have amazing online content. That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. But I mean, you say the effect that the athletes have on you. It's like there was a view of one of my shows. He reached out to me and he said, Derek Lunsford's my favorite bodybuilder. And this kid had an eating disorder and he had a kind of few sort of, mental health issues. And I asked Derek Lunsford to reach out to him, and it kind of put him on a path where he kind of started to get help and started to, kind of fix his life, So when these bodybuilders say stuff like that to these young kids and stuff like, it does make a huge difference, and it's because they're
beautiful.
It is. It happened to me, and obviously when I was 18, and it kind of put me on a path that I've kind of never looked back on. And I've said to Brandon Curry, I've said to Phil Heath, I've said to Ronnie Coleman, I said, you never forget how much of an impact you make on people's lives just by a simple message or a DM or a like on Instagram or something like that. It can make all the difference to someone's life.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's I hear this story over and over again. Like G.O.A.T, even though he was in the magazine, and like Frank's saying how much I never met them, but they inspired me beyond, and if you're searching, like you were looking for a purpose, that's when it happens. And for me, it was the same way. So, I think if you have that passion, that is a gift.
Yeah.
To love something and then just go after it. We can never control what's going to happen. The best things in your life, you didn't control it, right? You didn't plan it to happen. It just happened. So you just go with that inner voice. What other thing is it? You want to play safe and be bored the rest of your life? You can't do that.
Do you miss G.O.A.T?
Yeah, a lot. I do miss him. Like I said before, like in the 90s, we had such a terrific, beautiful, awesome guys. It was like amazing.
Yeah.
And we took it for granted. And it's like, that was the normal.
I've heard that before.
No, absolutely. And with Joe, it's like, of course, I wish I would have been more mature during that time, because he did mentor me, and ask more questions. But at the same time, you're living life, and I'm doing my shit. I think I am the shit, right? And you don't think you need so much help. And I just wish I listened more. I was more coachable. It took me a long time before I was coachable, because it's like I had drive and a certain amount of talent, and if you work on that talent, of course, I think you will succeed if the opportunity is there, right? And when you're in the middle of it, at least for me, it was hard to listen to these.
Oh, really?
Other people. Of course, I listened to him, but I wish I listened more. Maybe took more action. But it's like, that's just life.
Well, you needed to find your own path and do it your way.
Yes, exactly. And I was on my path. I was doing it my way. I was doing great. I thought, but it could always be better. But it just is what it is. It's just part of the story.
One thing I've always wanted to know from people who are really regarded as the best at what they do, at what point, at what stage in your career, if at all, did you think, okay, I've really got what I've been working towards, for the last 10, 15, 20 years or however long? When did you really feel like I'm really like the best at what I do now and I've made it?
Never did.
You never did? Yeah. That's what I was. I thought you were going to say that. I just that attitude, that drive never leaves you.
No, of course I think it was pretty good, right?
Yep.
I do think that I
pretty good.
I'm pretty good at what I'm doing, right? But I think there is so much more. I probably have 50, 60 more % in the gas, and that's like in the tank of gas in the tank, and that's what I'm exploring now. It's like, how can I get there? How can I work on myself? How can I change my mind? Because it's always a mindset. If you're going to be successful or not, it's always a mindset. So I've been, over the past couple of years, just working a lot on myself and self-improvement, and kind of in order to release that stuff there's in there. Like, everybody has it. Yeah. And it's just a question, like, how can I access it? There's a fucking locked doors that you got to unlock to get to that point. And that's what I'm doing. So one day, I think I'm going to be fucking awesome.
One day it's going to happen, Per. One day.
Yeah, I hope so.
Do you find it hard to switch off, ever? Generally, daily, weekly, or whatever?
My attitude had changed a lot over the past 2 years, I would say.
In what way?
No, it's because it's like, as I said, self-improvement and all that stuff. And I think for me, like working so hard, and for everybody else, you ask The Rock, anyone, you know, who works like crazy. I mean, I was working 7 days a week, 12, 14, 16-hour days. I did it for months. I could take a day off in 3 months, you know, when it was at the most intense. And for me, it was normal. It's not normal. It's crazy, right? But that was what kind of elevated, because I don't think I have more talent than anyone else. It's just like I really honed what I had and really, really, really worked hard on it. But for me, and it's like I'm opening up a little bit here, and I hope you don't mind, and like I don't feel shame or guilt over that, but it's like I think it was like I was like a survival. It was just pure survival for me that kind of drew me. Like it's fear-based, but that's a good thing. You could use that. Everybody has fear, right? It's like everybody's afraid of being.
I've spoken
to that's what kind of pushed me, and I worked hard. So today I'm able to relax more, you know, just enjoy the journey, have more faith, you know.
I spoke to a very, 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 very top bodybuilder, and I said, what kind of drives you, mate? I said, what's the thing that, and he said exactly what he said. He said, it's like fear. He said, it's a fear that I'm going to let myself down, let my family down, that I'm going to fail, that I'm going to, you know, it's constant. He said, it's constantly gnawing at me like a woodpecker on my head. He said, and it's what gives me that daily drive. It's what makes me want to level up and step my game up all the time and work harder and be better at everything and like self-improve everything all the time.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, so with other words, he had a perfect childhood, and I think we all have it. It's just kind of seeing it that way, because instead of choosing like a sense of victimhood, you do something, you kind of jump on that ego, let the ego take you, but be, you know, a little bit careful, you know, because it could go bad, and you use that energy and drive and just fucking go for it. And when you're younger, you have tons of it, and hopefully you have it later too, but that's everybody's story.
Have you ever felt like you've burned yourself out? Have you ever had a point where you think, I need to back off, I really need to chill out here? Things are going to go wrong otherwise. Yeah,
I remember clear in 2011, my best year ever. Had, you know, I was doing work for everybody, WWE, you know, you name it, you know, big campaigns, my best financial year ever. And I was a machine, and I feel sorry for my wife, because I office at home, so I work from home, and she saw me for like breakfast, lunch, dinner. You know, I was gone the rest of the day, and I was just rushing through. So I hit a wall, and I ended up at the emergency. You know,
really?
It's like, yes, it was pretty bad. It was something, you know, twisted intestine, and, you know, it's like but it was a wake up call.
Yeah.
It was a wake up call, and it kind of scared me a little bit. So I don't think I was able to push me that crazy, but that's how it works. You got to test your limits, right?
Yeah.
I didn't die. So whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger in a way.
Yeah. So what do you like to do when you do actually have some time to yourself? What do you like to do? What do you like to do?
I'm fucking damaged goods, bro. I'm just, photography is key, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of my biggest love, photography, just to create. If I don't create, I go crazy. It's been a couple of tough months over, you know, COVID.
Yeah.
But, you know, so what I do, I love meditating. I do meditation prayers every day, a couple of times a day, like once or twice at least. Photography is key. You know, love hitting the gym. Got to be better at that. And yeah, boring, bro. It's like, ask your friend, the bodybuilder. So what do? He's going to say, I train at the gym, and after I go home, I feed my muscles, and then I start planning, what did I do wrong? How can I get better? And that's just a mindset. I don't know how to get out of it, bro. But I love networking, meeting people, because that makes possibilities. That's how you kind of move forward.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen you work. I mean, I was at Metroflex in 2012 when you were doing a video shoot with Branch and Johnny. And I was training. I was actually training, because I remember you shouted to everyone and said, "Look, if you're in camera shot, get out of the way." And I remember I
said that.
Yeah. You said, "Everyone, if you get in the way."
Rude?
You were very polite, but you were very direct. You were very polite, very direct. And when you came over, I didn't move because I was doing side laterals.
Yes. So you're in the shot then?
Yeah, I was in the 2012, Branch and Johnny. But the reason I'm saying this is because I was watching you work, and I've seen you work before. I've seen you backstage at Olympias. And I was seeing the way that you genuinely I can see you like networking, you like being around people, it's not just, because it's, for me, I've been a photographer, obviously, it's not just about your creative process. You genuinely like being around people and creating something kind of positive and creative. That's the only one I can think of, really.
No, I think it's wonderful. It's like when you network, I mean, no man is an island. And I feel like when you're working with people, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
It's magic happens, stuff that I didn't plan for. It just happens. And in the beginning of the day, I tell myself, I show up in my stuff. There is no images on the hard drives or cards, but at the end of the day, magic happen. It's amazing.
So what's it like working with The Rock?
Very cool. He's so talk about dominating the space, right?
In the last few years, that guy has gone it's just gone to another level. No,
so what I mean by that, in a very positive, when he enters the room, it's like vacuum. No, it's like he's got such a vibration, so everybody's drawn to him, and he's super courteous, the nicest. He always says, like, it's nice to be important, but more important to be nice. And that with his work ethic, which is fantastic, his eye for detail. And the group of people he works with, his team, Danny Garcia, Dave, Rienzi, it's just amazing. It's like, it's like, in order to become the best version of you, it's like you need other people as well.
You need other people.
And that's why, and he's working with the best.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned there Danny Garcia. I mean, there's someone up to maybe a couple of years ago I'd never even heard of. And my God, we know about her now. I mean, this is someone that's obviously been successful at what she's been doing. And like you said, they're collaborating. Those people are collaborating. They support each other. They trust each other.
They used to be married. I mean, she knows. Yeah. So what people like, first time I heard, oh, wow, that's kind of big. It's like continue to work and be successful. But it's just taking the ego out of the equation and just looking at these are the parts we have that works. And it's fantastic. It has so much potential, and she's a big brain behind the operation. Her vision is amazing, woman.
Yeah, I mean,
amazing.
I follow her social media now, and I've obviously looked into her, and I mean, because I was watching like some of them, like seen as executive producer on some of the DC films, and I mean, this woman's got so many. She's just. I mean, everything. It's almost like, I'm sure she's had failures and lessons learned, but it's like
everybody has.
Yeah, exactly. Because she's probably taken a lot to get to that point where she now knows how to be successful and how to collaborate with the right people. But I mean, what a force of nature those two and and the other people in their team are. I mean, it's just what they've done in the industry. Obviously with Athleticon coming next year, you just know that everything they're going to do is it's going to be a huge hit.
It is. It's going to be a quality product. I mean, that's what they're doing. Amazing product. Everything they're doing is just kind of. I remember, when they started working on the tequila brand. I was there for meetings. They showed like bottle designs, and then you look how, like, the execution is just amazing, and they're using The Rock as a platform. But what's interesting with Danny, she's always been amazing, but I think she kind of took a step back. She was behind, but now she's coming to the front, and that's what you're seeing. She's always been there, but it comes to time and place for everybody when we want to get out of that backseat and step up to the light, just like yourself, right? and it's like, but I think you got to get it. I think it's a very personal thing, and you got to feel like you're ready. You can't rush anyone.
Yeah. Are you involved with Athleticon in any way next year?
No, it's like it was supposed to happen this year. So, like last year, everything started up and then COVID hit us. So it changed. So I think it's just kind of been cooking on the burner, like slowly cooking the burner in the background. So it wasn't like, I've done some stuff for them, and but they know what to do and all that stuff. And I'm sure they will bring me in, when it comes down to like these smaller details, so to speak. But overall, no, I haven't.
So what percentage of work of your daily or weekly routine is actual photography and the rest is videography and any other projects?
I mean, it's like, as you know, it's been crazy times.
Yeah.
It's been crazy times. So all bets are thrown out. So like I'm in California, you know, it's kind of partly lockdown, so there's only so much I can do. I mean, I've started shooting. I'm shooting a lot now, like smaller projects. I have some projects that I don't want to jinx it. So, but I've been shooting a lot of women lately. Used to kind of open up a new side of me. So it's like a good friend of mine. She said, Per, you've been so focused on the masculine, like on the muscles. Maybe now it's time for you to focus on the feminine. So that's what I'm doing, right? So wherever the life takes me, right?
What was the shoot in the rain you did the other week? The post, I think you posted it yesterday, the woman. That was beautiful, exactly. Beautiful image.
Yes. So it's the wife of Thomas Connolly. He's an incredible dentist. He works out with I met him through Brad Rowe. You know Brad Rowe, the bodybuilder, right? Yeah. So that's how I, once again, networking, right? Yeah. And so it started there, and we had dinner. It was a big dinner. I was there. I was talking to her, and we were talking about shooting. And then, I don't know, I just kind of, Instagram is pretty powerful. I sent her a message saying, let's do something. I didn't have anything coming up. Mm-hmm. And because what it's been now since like in March, I mean, I had some shoots that pays the bills, but it's just a lot of time that I can't do anything. It's very hard. Yeah. It's been hard. So I shot her. It's like the second or third time I shot her. And she said, you want to come and do this? I'm doing this rain shoot. And I said, of course, I'll come. So we did it. So we have something coming out of it, which could be very exciting. I'll let you know. No, nice. I want to see some. Have you got your own studio? Have you got or you hired, or do you just use different places? No, I have a studio. I'm very fortunate. We have a house in Marina del Rey, and 2 blocks over is my studio. It's amazing. And my neighbor is actually Robert Reef. Do you remember Robert Reef? Yeah, Robert Reef. Of course. It was an amazing photographer. He's an amazing photographer, same industry as me. Yeah. Yeah, do you remember? I remember he did the shoot with Dorian, and he got Dorian to do something that was really un-Dorian with a shield and a sword, and you could see Dorian was just not feeling it at all. But it was a great image. It was like, yes, because Dorian didn't like doing any things that any types of shoots he didn't like to do. But I remember that Robert Reef shot. Yeah, it was many years ago, back in the mid-90s now. So have you? I mean, I can imagine, obviously, being kind of in California in a very, very, busy area. Do you get people up and coming photographers wanting to be mentored by you? Yeah, I mean, this being pre-COVID, there was a lot of people. It's like always been, reaching out. And I just did my first workshop. Oh, Hector. Hector came. Hector Mendoza. So it was like, yes, exactly. So it was a collaboration with Leica camera. It was super exciting, but then COVID hit, and they said we can't do it. Yeah. And I said, fuck these guys. And I had a guy come from Australia. They came all over the place, right? The woodwork. It was 5 or 6 guys. And I said, let's see if they still want to do it. So everybody came out. We did the workshop. It was great. I had lots of fun. And, I'm going to start planning for a new one. I think it should open up. It should be safe soon. As soon as this election is over. If I was in a position, I would love to do that with you. Actually, I would love to do maybe I should come over and do a workshop in the UK then. Oh my God, it'd be amazing. Yeah, I've got a few ideas coming around my head already. I like that. Because I started off in early 90s, mid 90s. I was a teenager, going to shows, shooting Grand Prix and. And I just, I kind of felt like, and then I kind of got more into the writing and and now the videography and online shows and all these different things, the tours, and I'm doing MCing now and everything else. And I still miss the photography. I miss that creative process. I used to do some great studio shoots in my college, because I had probably one of the best equipped studios for photography colleges, and I've got some of my stuff around my house, and I've had front covers, I've shot front covers, and I miss the photography. I didn't know that. I knew you shot, but I didn't know to what extent. That's amazing. And also, I'm going to show off now. I'm a photographer that's been on a front cover as well. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. So Per, honestly, mate, I'm so happy you said yes to coming on. I really do appreciate it because you're like, I mean, we're fans of the sport, but I'm not just fans of the bodybuilders. I'm fans of the Peter McGoffs, the Per Bernals, the Kevin Hortons, the Steve Blackmans. The people who are real pioneers of the industry that are the best at what they do. And I've got I've got as much respect for you as I have for Ronnie Coleman, for what he's achieved, because
because you're the best at what you do, Per, and it's just, I just think that it just really deserves like all the acknowledgement in the world, because your work is so appreciated, like just the way that Peter McGough is still loved and appreciated now by people and still acknowledged. You know, it's because like the 90s, they were amazing. And, you know, if you look at the people that created that, the imagery and those front covers and those iconic photo shoots, you know, it was that small group of people that you were a part of, Per. And it's
it was fantastic. It's such a blessing to be a part of history in a way, right?
Yeah.
It is history.
And
thank you so much for those kind words. I don't, start wetting up here.
And I'll be honest. I was as excited when I organised the Phil Heath tour last year. When I got the phone call, Phil messaged me and he said, Giles, he says, by the way, halfway through the tour, Per Bernal's going to come and join us. I was like, yes! I was like, oh wow! It was just like, I was buzzing. I was so excited when you came over. It was really, really good, and I'm really glad we got to spend some time together. It was a real honor, you know.
You never told me that. No, just kidding. You said that you were happy. It's very, very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We had fun, didn't we? We had fun on that tour.
It was awesome. I saw so many possibilities. It's like you have something there. It's amazing. And I used to love UK. I didn't know you had such hardcore gyms there. I mean, it's like it beats like authentic gyms.
Yeah.
You don't have it here in the same way.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, because you did.
Amazing.
I mean, every single place you were like, I love this place, the people, and you know, and the way they all reacted to Phil, and then when Phil started, like on that last night when he got up and he started crying and he was doing, and you could hear a pin drop in the room. It was like it was because it was the last night of the tour, and we'd just been on this kind of intense 8 days driving all around the country, you know, and laughing and joking and, you know, and really connecting, getting a chance to, because I really feel like, I think Phil got a real raw deal when he was Mr. Olympia. I think people mistook him. They got him wrong, you know. I don't know whether he's changed or whatever. But for me, like I was really happy that people got to see the real Phil, you know, on that tour, because everyone just loved him when he came over, you know. And he really over delivered every single day on that tour. I was so happy that he was the first one I reached out to, you know.
No, it's such a genuine man, and I don't think, you know, people don't know who he is, but it's also up to him to kind of bring it forward.
Yeah.
And you know, and I'm sure that like a little bit of an exodus and not being part of the competitive thing, it's been hard on him, but I'm sure it's like a humbling experience, and I think he's hungrier than ever, and he's just gonna, you know, come back and do his thing.
Yeah,
I think, I see him as a champion, to be honest.
Good. Are you going to be at the Olympia this year?
We'll see. You know, maybe, as you know, there is no more Muscle and Fitness, Flex, or Hers. And I was always under magazine contracts with, you know, Muscular Development or like with AMI. Yeah. And so, in a way, this whole shit, you know, with everything that happened, it's like my platform kind of disappeared. So that's what I'm trying to recreate. You know, I got to find my own platform, build my own platform. Yeah. I do work with a UK magazine.
Oh, do you?
A lot. Muscle and Health. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Okay.
But it's more like, Muscle and Health magazine. So a shout out to them. We just finished the second issue. It's going to be out next week, I think.
Oh, fantastic.
But it's a little bit more celebrity based, a little bit more mainstream, more balanced in a way, but we love unbalanced and extreme, don't we? Yeah. So we'll see what happens. A company asked me to be at Olympia, so we're talking. So I'm planning to be there.
Well, I hope to be there, and I hope to see you there, mate. Because
that's right. Because you can't travel yet.
It's tricky.
Right?
It's tricky. Yeah, it's tricky. But Per, just please don't stop what you're doing, mate. Please keep going. Please just keep inspiring and keep doing what you're doing, mate, because you're very loved in the industry, mate, and very much appreciated by everyone.
Thank you for the reminder. Thank you so much, and thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure.
And you are doing awesome. Take my hat off.
Stop.
No, so I remember like last year, because I remember last year we were talking, and you said, you know, who should affiliate with me, and I said, just keep doing your thing. Everything's gonna work out. And look at you now, 4 shows, right? Well, maybe you are the voice of the industry.
Just see my ugly mug everywhere now.
No, then you just gotta kind of hone that, embrace it, and just fucking run with it. And Keep the people in the dust. Get better equipment, better cameras, lights.
Oh, can you? Well, that red camera is gathering dust. That looks a spare. Looks like a spare.
Better stuff, and then you just keep pushing so no one catches up. Just kidding.
Yeah. No, I think that looks like a spare. You can lend me that one, that red camera there in the background. So.
Yeah, I have 2 now actually. So yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Per, you can only hold one at a time, mate. So send me one.
Yeah, I'll send one. Better out to you.
All right then, mate. Per, it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful, mate, and I look forward to. Hopefully, we can get to all catch up at the Olympia in December, mate.
I would love that. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you, Per. It's been a pleasure, mate.
Likewise.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Okay, guys, we're going to do a little bit of a British Grand Prix review here in the open division. So yes, the British Grand Prix, bit of hell of a story behind this one, because it was due to be, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, which is today or yesterday. But the UK went into lockdown on Thursday. It was announced by our Prime Minister Boris Johnson last week. So rather than cancel the show, Ian Constable, Bob Chick, the promoters, scrambled around like crazy and managed to pull it back to Wednesday. I mean, it was all done and dusted in about 24 hours. The whole arrangements, rebooking the venue. I mean, you can imagine all the phone calls they had to make. So yeah, big full credit to them for making the show go ahead. So we're going to go to the live stream here from Pump Media. Live stream was very, very good. I was very impressed with it. Here they're doing a tribute to Luke Sandow, our dear friend who we lost in May. Yeah, can you just turn the volume up a little bit, please, Colin? I just want to hear this. There's Luke. Yeah. Yeah, Luke would have been competing in this show originally when it was due to be held in May. Was it June? May or June? And then it was put back, obviously, because of COVID to today or yesterday. And obviously, sadly, we lost him in May. So the show is in memory to Luke Sandow. And we all miss him. And yeah, just very, very happy. I think everyone was happy that the show just still went ahead. And they managed to pull it off. So full credit to those guys, the Two Bros events. Yeah, good job, guys. Good job. Okay, so yeah, this went on for several minutes, and they did a speech at the start, which was, as you saw, at the very start of this, was read out by Ian Constable. So yeah, it's nice that he's still been acknowledged there, and still, because he was a hugely influential figure in the British and international bodybuilding scene, not just in bodybuilding, but he was a great guy. And here's all the Open Pro competitors, as you can see there in shadow, stood there paying respects to our dearly departed friend Luke Sandow, the Juggernaut. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we miss you, Luke. We miss you, buddy. Okay. Okay, so who's up first? Let's go to this. Oh, this is when they bring out the competitors by themselves.
Jamie.
Can you just turn it down, please, Carly? Just slightly. Yeah. You're hearing the commentation by Charles Claremont, very well-known bodybuilder in the 90s. He won the British Grand Prix in 1993. Actually, beat Kevin Navarone. Flex Wheeler was second. Kevin Navarone was third. Here's Cuba Seelan, 26, I believe this guy is. He's only a couple of years outside the juniors. He looked very good. His condition was fantastic. The best I've seen Cuba. He's a work in progress. Samson Dowd, I recognise that walk. Very confident walk. He looked very good when he first came out, but Samson always seems to fade very, very, very fast. I don't know why that is. Some guys do. Some guys just get better. Some fade. Here's Regan Grimes. Regan actually got stuck in Poland this week because he was en route to the Romania Pro. He was 4th place in Alicante. He was 2nd place here. Let's just watch them as they come out individually. Let's watch this. You can hear Charlie and Abs in the background. Oh, got some buffering going on here. Okay, very, very good live stream as well by Chris Clark of Pump Media. Oh, look at this. Mark Hector. When this guy fills out his legs, I mean, my God. I mean, look at the structure. Look at the vacuum. His shoulders, his chest, the way he pops. He's absolutely phenomenal. So this show, very small audience, obviously, because of COVID. Yeah, I recognise that silhouette as well. the dense granite muscle of James Hollinshead. Yep, huge, probably in the mid 260s here, 270 maybe. As you can see, they were kind of really pushing the show through in time-wise, because everyone had to be out of the some of these competitors had to be out of the country by kind of that night. There's Theo Leguerrier. I hope I've said that right. I've just had him on the show, just interviewed him, from France. Here's a guy on the rise, 28 years old. Turned pro in 2018 at the Amateur Olympia in Las Vegas, prepped by Mauro Sassi. Can you believe this is what's coming last place in a show like this? Florian Poisson, 26 years old, prepped by Patrick Tour. He prepped in a bit of a rush for this contest, but my God, I mean, I messaged him afterwards and I said, Florian, I says, you know, you don't let the results of this show kind of dishearten you, because, you know, he is a guy with the structure and the size and the shape to really be one, like a world beater in the next few years. I mean, 2 years, that guy could be literally top 6 Olympia and winning multiple pro shows. He used to fill out his chest, his back, his arms. But, I mean, you look at the overall lines and you can see that when this guy really balances everything out in the next couple of years, he's going to be absolutely dangerous. Look at that, Jamie Johal. Honestly, I think Jamie Johal's got one of probably the best front lat spread in the business. That front lat spread is just lights out. Regan looks very good here. Okay, so you got Jamie the Christian Johal there, 6'5", probably between 290 and 300 pounds. Beautiful aesthetics, small waist. Much better than he was in Alicante. He took 9th in Alicante in his pro debut, turned pro in 2018. I was glad because he said to me on Global Muscle a couple of episodes ago, he decided not to do this one. Then he changed his mind, and here he is. Jamie was 4th place here. Fantastic result. I mean, look at him. He's peaked beautifully here. He's got size, aesthetics, the condition's fantastic. 10 pounds heavier than when he turned pro in 2018. As you can see, this guy has just got all the tools to be a world beater. Really is. Cuba Sealant, very, very impressed with him in this show. Very, very good. Great structure, nice shape, good aesthetics. I like his shape. I like his conditioning. I think his conditioning was fantastic. See the difference in conditioning there. Much, much harder than Samson. Then we have Samson, who's had a very tough year. Tried to get to Tampa, couldn't get there. Went to Korea and all the hassle he had with the quarantining and not being able to train and eat properly. Regan Grimes here. And then he went to Alicante. I think he was 5th or 6th place there. I can't remember now. Okay, Mark Hector. Here's a guy I think's got crazy potential. Crazy potential. Here he is. Prepped by Abdullah, Brandon Curry's coach from Oxygen Gym. There, look at that. Look when he opens up. Look at that. Shoulder to waist. I mean, that's impressive. That's impressive. Small joints, good calves. I just like the pop and the lines in his shoulders, his arms, his chest. Then you've got the raw density, the sheer mass of James Hollinshead. I think James is one of those guys that you really need to see. I don't like the way he poses. His arms are too high, makes his lats look, and his lats look, triceps look, doesn't make him look good. He's changed that. But look at the shoulders, the chest, big, heavy, dense guy. Theo Leguerrier from France, who we just had on Global today. Very, very, very good physique. Great poser. Florian, as you can see, Florian's condition's just off. But I mean, look at that. I mean, really, I think he has the best front double bicep out of that group. It's just the conditioning's not there. But for me, he's like a young Dennis Wolf with huge calves. Yeah, that's... I'm not keen on the way James holds his arms there. But look at the conditioning in the glutes, the hamstrings, the thickness of his calves. Oh, sorry, I've just stopped it there. So, okay, let's have a look at this. Theo here, fantastic conditioning. He needs to fill that back out a little bit, but really nice, conditioning. Florian here, looking probably another 3 weeks of good hard prepping. He'd have been a contender here, without a doubt. James there. Yeah, very good. Huge guy. I think James is one of those guys you have to see in the flesh. I think he's, from what I've heard, he's shocking when you see him, physically, because it can tell a different story sometimes when you're at these shows. You sometimes do have to be there, whereas other guys can look amazing on Instagram and in pictures, and they're not look or look more impressive or less impressive on stage. Sorry. Okay, we've got Jamie the Giant here, and he is a giant, 6'5", 290 pounds, massive man. Look at that front lat spread. Wow. Oh God. I think Jamie's 33, isn't he, Colin? 33. I mean, so he's got time on his side. Everything looks fresh. It looks healthy. It looks good, The lines are clean. There's no blurry delts. The conditioning top to toe is very consistent throughout his physique. He looks aesthetic. Flat midsections, tight waist. Delts the size of his head. It does. That's always the goal, if you can get delts the same size as your own head. But yeah, he is a really nice looking physique. Keep saying it. There you are. Oh, Jesus. That front lat spread's huge. He does look like Superman when he does that. Although I've never seen Superman hit front lat spread. In fairness. Side tricep. I mean, look, he's got the aesthetics of a much, much lighter bodybuilder but he's also got the size and dimensions of a, super freak. Cuba here. Yeah, I like the conditioning. Yeah, conditioning. Yeah, here's a guy, he's improving. He's moving up. Turned pro 2018, I believe it was. Yeah, it was 2018. I forget which show it was. It was a European show. Yeah, look at the condition, the skin around his glutes, his hamstrings. Yeah, he's suffered for this. He's dieted hard. Yeah, needs to slow his posing down a bit, mate. Yeah, skin's very thin there. But yeah, a couple of years, he could be very, very good. Very, very good. And then we got Samson. Samson, I was disappointed in this. I was expecting better conditioning from Samson. I think maybe he's... Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Frontal bicep. He knows how to pose, Samson. Very aesthetic. Yeah, you see around the in the front lat spread, you can see his body starting to look a little bit depleted now. The conditioning, I don't know whether he's just flat or whether he's smooth or soft, around here. It's lacking detail. But he's just about there, Samson. He really is. I mean, he's hitting that ceiling of that next level to go, like there. I mean, there's no conditioning going on around his arms and shoulders there. There's nothing going on there. But the shape, the lines, beautiful. I mean, he's got the potential to be a really good pro. And I mean really good. Regan Grimes, possibly, was he? I suppose he was one of the favourites coming into the show. I think he was better than Alicante. Got fourth in Alicante. He was second place in here. Still, he's definitely... I mean, there's another guy. I think he's 27 years old. But when you're this good in your 20s, you've got everything in your favour. Everything's on your side. But very nice lines. Yeah, I like the fullness around the chest and the way everything's popping. But, yeah, he's got a fantastic back, Regan. Like this bit here, the depth, the density. But still, he's not bringing the conditioning. I don't know whether the travel affected him, but I love the lower lat thickness here. Yeah, the way it fans out. Yeah, fantastic. Oh, stopped it there. Yeah, very, very good physique. I'm so glad he came back to Open. I didn't like it when he went to Classic. I didn't think the look suited him. For me, him and Jamie, my two favourite physiques in this show. These are the ones that really shocked me because of the improvements they've made. Mark Hector was 7th in Alicante. Look at that, the vacuum. I mean, look at the genetics, the shape, the structure, like clean, like his shoulders and triceps, everything's bursting full, like the deep separations here. This is it, yeah. He's peaked perfectly for this show. Conditions very, very tight. It's readable bicep. Have a look at his shoulders now. That's very Dexter Jackson. When you say the muscles are popping, this is what we're talking about. Things are popping. Things are jumping off the bone. And that's the shot. That most muscular. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, a couple of years, this kid is going to be... Yeah, he's going to be taking some wins. James, yeah. I think, was he better than Alicante here? It was difficult because this footage is a lot better than the Alicante, the one I was looking for online anyway. But as you can see, the conditioning, I think, possibly is a little touch better than in Alicante. I still like to see the kind of detail that you see in Mark Hector around certain areas. But detail, I don't know. He's shredded, so he's he's like a British Branch Warren. Yeah, prepped by Patrick Tour from Switzerland. Heavy, dense, thick muscle. I think for the future, I'd like to see a little bit more lower lat development. And I'd like to see if he can try and thicken out his abs a little bit. Because, like I said in Globe Moss before, Jay Cutler had very shallow abs, but he managed to, improve them to the point where his ab and thigh was probably his best pose in the end. Here's Theo Leguerrier, 28 years old. Like I said, turned pro 2 years ago. A real exciting new face to see on the scene. Prepped by Mauro Sassi from Team Stones, Italy. He's from France. Look at that. Yeah, beautiful shape. Yeah. When you've got shape, size, and aesthetics, then and you bring in good conditioning, then you've got a good future. But here's a work in progress, this guy. But doing Romania this weekend, next weekend as well. So, yeah, conditions great. Yeah, great cheese on them glutes. That's an oldie but a goodie. Yeah. And a bit more back development, but his radial biceps is a better pose for him. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, give this kid time. Next couple of years, he's going to be a force, 100%. And I believe last we have Florian Poisson. I wonder how Florian feels about doing this show, given that he kind of rushed his prep. I spoke to Patrick. He's about 260. He's about 260 pounds here. He's a tall guy. He's a big guy. He turned pro at the Portugal last year, and then he competed in the pro show and took 4th place at he'd been 25 years old. Made a real impact. He was in much better condition at that show. But, just look at the guy's shape. Look at the guy's legs, the flow. When he fills his chest and back out, I'd like to see slightly thicker arms as well. But I think maybe when they're better conditioned, they'll look more impressive. But he's just nearly there, Yeah. Look at those legs. Look at the quads. He's just not popping because he's not dry enough. He's not lean enough. But, 26 years old. It's guys like this in Quinton area and guys in their 20s, or guys like Mark Hector. They're really the next generation of pro bodybuilders. That are really going to be filling out those top spots in the years to come. So let's actually go to some call-outs. Okay, here we have first call-out. This actually ended up being the top 4. We got Jamie the Giant on the left here at 4th place. We had Regan Grimes here at 2nd. James Hollinshead in 1st, and then you had Mark Hector in 3rd place. Yeah, you can see the size difference between Mark and James now when you see them right next to each other. You can see the difference in how more advanced he is in terms of muscle thickness and density. But when Mark, in a couple more years, I tell you what, when he fills these legs out and everything, this all kind of gets more bit thicker and rounder, with that structure, he's going to look sensational. Regan Grimes here. I'd still like to see a bit more quads from Regan. They're great from the side and the back, but from the front, they still look like they need more thickness and width. Jamie the Giant. God, look at his shoulders. Look at his shoulders. Like, that's bigger than Regan's head. I mean, that's on a guy that's 6'5". So you can just physically imagine how big his shoulders are. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal. I'm so impressed with what Jamie's brought this year. Jamie the Giant. I still like to see him go into superhero movies, but there you go. That's just my opinion. I won't talk about it much more, promise. But I do think he should be a superhero in superhero films. Yeah, look at the condition in James's glutes there. Jesus. God, you've got to suffer to get that kind of condition with that amount of muscle mass. And I like these lines in his traps here. When he does this, watch this. Look at that. That's freaky. In fact, it looks more impressive when he's not got tan on. Because if you look at his Instagram pictures in the lead up, I mean, look at the delts. I mean, that is he's got very impressive shoulders, James Hollinshead. James now with his second pro win. This has qualified him for next year's Olympia. He's qualified for the 2020 Olympia by way of winning the Alicante, the NPC European Pro. So he's qualified for 2 Olympias. So what a step up for James. I mean, he turned pro in 2017, winning the overall British finals. I think Jamie the Giant was 3rd in that one, was he? I think he was 3rd. I'm sure he was 3rd, maybe 2nd. But these guys have been going head to head for 5 years. In 2015, Jamie won the super heavyweights, and that was the year James didn't place top 6 because he won it the year before. He won the super heavyweights at the British finals in 2014. He was a very, very good junior. James Hollinshead won the British finals. I've got 2009 in my head. I think I've got 2000. I'm sure he won it that year. Regan Grimes, beautiful aesthetics. Yeah, lovely physique. Very popular on Instagram. Okay, we got Mark Hector. Okay, well, I've one little look at the second call out, and then we'll wrap it up. So here we go. What we got next? Here we got X. Okay, here we got. Okay, that's Theo there. Fantastic conditioning through the glutes. Look at that. Yeah, great physique. Cuba there. Looking a bit outsized next to Samson, but Samson's a little bit further along. Yeah, I like the way Cuba does his frontal bicep. I like the way he angles his body. He's got potential, but he's got a lot of potential. Samson, he was 6th place in this contest. I think we were mainly expecting it to be him versus James Hollinshead. But I don't know whether he's just tired of his body, he's just burnt out. Because, I mean, this guy's had a hell of a year. Personally, I'd like to see him shut it down now and just kind of regroup for next year. Because he's certainly increased his fan base this year, Samson, from everything he's been through and the tenacity and the determination he's shown. But he's starting to look his body's starting to look tired now. See, this is the point where you can push harder and you end up looking worse in your prep because the body just resists. And I'll tell you what, Florian looks fantastic there. I mean, I know he needs couple weeks more prep, but I mean, in some of these shots, he's holding his own. Yeah, fantastic. What else? Yeah, it's a shame Samson wasn't shredded, you know. But yeah, it was a good top 9 here. Tough contest. Okay, so you got Cuba, Theo, Samson, Florian. Yeah, this is all a bit blurry, isn't it? But it's not popping. But fair play to him. What a year he's had. Okay, let's have a scroll across a little bit. Okay, here's the final call out. The top 4. Jamie looking super impressive there to me. Yep, wouldn't want to be a judge. I tried it, didn't like it. Hate judging. Didn't like it. Okay, so is there a bit of a pose down or... Okay, a bit of a pose down. Have we got it? Or is it placings? Oh, it's pose routines. We won't go through pose routines. Right, okay. Well, that's like a little bit of a rundown there for the British Grand Prix. Like I said, fantastic to the promoters for going through with it and managing to rearrange it, given all the chaos of the pandemic. Because when that news hit on the week before, you know, it would have been no one would have, had anything to say if they had cancelled the show. So yeah, it went ahead, and now James Hollinshead is now qualified for the 2021 Olympia, and obviously the tribute to Luke Sandow went ahead. So yeah, fantastic there. Big credit to Pump Media as well for some really good live stream footage there. I'm sure they'll be doing plenty more for Two Bros events in the future, and hopefully next time we can get to see Bob Chick over, because I know he really wanted to be at his own show, but unfortunately couldn't get over, obviously. So yeah, okay, I hope you've enjoyed that, and we will go next to our shout outs for MDE Global Muscle, and we are out. Okay guys, it is shout out time for episode 16 of MDE Global Muscle. Okay, first up we have my very, very good friend Chris Griffin, CM Griff _Boston, one of the coolest guys in the industry, I'd say. Griff, big dude, about 6'5", I think. He's very rarely see a picture of him on his Instagram. There he is there. He's a big bastard. Look at that. Don't want to meet him in a dark alleyway, would you? No? Especially Okay. Nah, he's a cool guy, Chris. From Boston. Your abs aren't impressive if you can't even bench one plate. Okay. Right, okay. He's a very sense of humour here, as you can see. No matter who is president, Tren is king. God save the king. Okay. I don't know what Tren is. Do you know what Tren is? Is it a supplement or? Sandwich. It's a sandwich. Okay. Yeah. One of the great guys, a online coach, does a bit of media work as well. He's done some stuff with MD. He's very good friends with Ron Harris. Competed, done loads of shows, real kind of old school hardcore trainer. Stuff he's posted. Look at this. Skip butthole day. Should we pull this up? Never skip butthole day, never. Sure you slipped. Yeah, sure you slipped. Okay. Why would someone stick a dumbbell up then?
People like to do stuff in the bedroom.
Okay, well, I can tell you, I have never done that. Oh well, there's something for the bucket list, isn't it? Okay, day of quarantine. Oh my God, just look at this. Bees reacting to the news of the arrival of the murder hornets. Okay, yeah, great guy, Chris. Yeah, I had a bit of I went for a bit of a shit time a couple of years ago, and yeah, Chris was one of the guys. I think he messaged me pretty much every day to see how I was. So I'll always appreciate that. Big respect to you, Chris. Really appreciate that, mate. Got me through shit times, mate. That's a good friend, proper friend. Look at the... What's this? He's probably thinking about protecting our family from COVID. I can't believe this whole time I could have had a tiger for only $2,000. Okay. Okay, what else? Oh, he's not giving much away about himself here, is he? He's very, he's more about the humour. When your homie starts coughing. Do you like that one? I bet you like that one, Carly. Have you seen that film?
Yeah, Apocalypse.
Oh, it's brutal, wasn't it?
It was alright.
All the sacrifices to the sun god and... Okay, there we are. This is Beast Coast Live, a show I used to do with Mike Cox, another friend of mine in the industry. Always see him on the MD forums. They're regular, been forum members for years and years and years. They're kind of like part of the furniture there. Great guy. Yeah, got real history in the industry. Steroids kill coronavirus. Oh my God. Get me some. So yeah. Okay, what else has he got? Okay. When bulking season is over, that's from Babe, isn't it? The pig film. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Oh, I like that. Okay. I think you can get the gist of what this is. There's a lot of kind of dark humor here. Okay, I like this one. I was going to post this one the other day. 2020's been rough, but I know once we get past the pandemic and murder hornets, we finally get to enjoy 2020. Fuck, is that Godzilla? Look at that. What is that? I hope it's not Godzilla. That'd be kind of cool. He's the hero we need. Right, okay, yeah, so give Chris a follow, and yeah, he's a cool guy. Good guy. Online training and meal plans available. I think he's represents this Psalms as well, different brands, so give them a try. Put in his discount code and let's benefit Chris. Okay, next shout out. This is yours, isn't it, Culling?
Yep.
Okay, this is Corinne Ingman. Very, very impressive athlete. She just took second, very, very close second at the Two Bros in the women's physique on Wednesday. Look at that conditioning. I mean, look at that. That's a woman's conditioning. I mean, for a guy to get conditioned like that, it is difficult. But for a woman, it's even harder to get the body fat levels to that level. I mean, that is insane. It's amazing. Yeah, she's been around for a few years. She's got a pro card. I think last year? Look at that. There she is. I think that's Portugal, isn't it? Where is that? That's Portugal, isn't it? That looks like Portugal to me. But look at the conditioning. Wow. Is that Evie?
Yes.
Yeah, Evie Rain. We had on Global Muscle a few weeks ago now. 18 days till I get my butt bronzed and back on stage. Yeah, she's in partners with Jordan Peters, from Trained by JP. Trained by JP, they've got their own supplement brand. They have their own online website, they subscriptions, and they're a real like kind of powerful duo in the industry. These guys, absolutely amazing. They are. Look at the size of Jordan. Yeah. We took Phil Heath actually to train with Jordan Peters for a video shoot last year up in Manchester when he was living up there. And Phil and look at that. Oh my God. They trained some back together, and that's on the Trained by JP website, so go check that out. Okay, it's a very quick video. Okay, anything more on Corinne? Let's have a look. See, she trains a lot of athletes and preps a lot of athletes as well. Here we are. Yeah, very well respected, these two. They're doing very, very good things in the industry. They're sponsoring, big shows like the Two Bros shows. Very, very hard training athletes, very hardcore. There you go. Look at that. I mean, there's the two of them there. Yeah. There's Jordan on the left. Holy shit. I love the dream tan look. And there she is. There's her there. Okay. So, I want to get this off this. Okay. Let's look at one more picture. Is that a video there or? Actually, let's have a look at a hack squatting. Look at that. 5 plates. Jesus. 5 plates. 6 reps. That is so hardcore. Give us a bit of volume, Colin. Come on. Look at that. Is there any volume on it? No sound. Okay. Wow. That is what you call the eye of the tiger. So, and there she is in a skirt with a massive quads poking out. Look at that. That's cool. Oh, she looks nice, doesn't she? Rest day for me. I call this outfit Rhubarb and Strawberry Dream. Yeah. Yeah, I love these two, man. They're awesome. Yeah, I like powerlifting. Looks like she's doing a powerlifting meet there. Women's Physique Pro Show. Okay. Yeah, amazing. There you go. Amazing athlete. Bloody hell. Just throwing the weights around there. Oh, look at them when they were younger. This was Jordan Peters when he was younger, obviously, and there's Corinne there. They look slightly different there, don't they? Not as much muscle. Jordan actually, 2009, I think he came 5th. Was it 5th or 3rd in the juniors in the British finals, and then he just morphed into this. About 2-3 years later, just morphed into this absolute monster. But yeah, I mean, Brandon Curry's given Jordan a shout out, saying these are websites. He enjoys the content on his website. So people, real kind of like significant people in the industry, really have got the attention and the respect. Respect for Corinne and what Corinne and Jordan are doing and building in the industry. Look at that. Just badasses, aren't they? Look at them. Yeah. This is date night for them. Come on. Here we go. Come on. Get on with it. Hold his training partner accountable to those standards too. Okay. Well, I'm going to give us a few more seconds. Come on. I want to see the leg pressing. Come on. Oh, logbook there. Look.
No sound.
There you go. There's no sound again. Okay. Magic Eye Media. Oh, they're doing good work in the industry as well. I'll have to give them a shout out one time. Kind of just have, but there you go. Yeah. Okay. Bloody hell. Yeah. There's a woman who's not afraid to sweat in the gym. Right. Okay. Our next shout out is it's a guy doing very, very good in the work in the industry. Subi. I think his name's Subi Ali. I'm sure it's Subi Ali. Yes, he's well, I know Subi mainly because he was the one who started the idea of doing the tours in the UK. He's done tours with Jay Cutler. Hang on, let's see if I can find anything. Yeah, look, there's Regan Grimes. It's Subi there. Yeah, Family Guy. Does a lot of, goes back and forth a lot to Dubai. I think there's some businesses out there, some business interests. He's now the UK distributor for HD Muscle from Dorian Hamilton. They're doing good things, sponsoring a lot of athletes like Mark Hector. And but sorry, yeah, the tours he did. He's done Jay Cutler, Phil Heath. It's not Phil Heath. I did Phil Heath. Jay Cutler, Flex Lewis, Kai Green, Sean Roden with Chris Aceto and Psycho Fitness when they were working together. And just lots of pictures of himself. I suppose that's what Instagram is meant for, isn't it? Oh, that's a nice car. Is that a Ferrari? Oh, I'm jealous. Give me one. Yeah, so there he is on tour with Sean Roden. That was in 2019. Yeah, because it was after Shawn had won the 2018 Mr. Olympia. And there's Chris Aceto, Psycho Fitness. Was it 2018? UK. Oh, it was the end of 2018. That's right. Yeah, I remember now. There you go. There he is training with Milos Saljev. It's one of our global muscle favorites, isn't it? Yep. Old Milos the Mind. Yeah, God, he's got some guns on him, Subi. Keeps them well hidden. Oh, fair play. It's all that all that HD muscle supplements. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it looks really good. Okay. Who else did you on tours with? There's a lot of traveling. Yeah, doing great things there. Yeah. It's I kind of stole his idea really for the Global Muscle Pro Tours and the Olympia All Star Tours. And we have discussed actually collaborating on a couple of tours as well, because it was an idea I wanted to sort of take and do my own sort of take on it, and he was the last tour he had was with Chris Bumstead and I forget the name of the lady. Was it Courtney King? But they're no longer together, but they were going to do a tour together, and obviously the lockdown happened, and that all kind of got stopped, So there he is with Flex Lewis, Chris Aceto. Yeah, very well respected guy. I'm liking that car. Yeah, lots of shots of him on phones and on laptops and in the gym. And he likes his man bags. And they're pretty swaggy man bags, I've got to admit. So yeah, cool guy, Subi. Flex Lewis with that beard, looks weird. Yeah, and there's Jay Cutler. I went along actually to the Birmingham date when Jay was in, was it 2018 now? July, August 2018. Went down to see him just to say hi. I think it was September actually. I think it was before the Olympia, right before the Olympia. Yeah, Sean Roden, Chris Aceto, Flex Lewis. Yeah, he's right in the heart of it, this guy. Yeah, HD muscle, and doing lots of good things. Affiliate marketing, social media marketing. And he's actually been very helpful, actually giving me tips and kind of help to try and make my tours better, So he supports me, I support him, and it's all about collaboration, and that's it, really. So, yeah, good guy. Give him a follow. Subi110. Okay, finally, it's Paul Baxendale, very, very good friend of mine. This is an old training partner of Dorian Yates' back in the mid-90s. He was a badass super heavyweight as well. There we are. He was huge. Yeah. Big dude. He was one of like the top, I would say in the top 6, top 10 super heavyweights in the UK in the mid-90s. Didn't quite get his pro card, but he's got some amazing stories to tell. Still training hard, as you can see there. Look. Still training like a badass. He's in his 50s now. He actually, hardcore guy. Really like real kind of blood and guts, old school training, One set to failure, really all out. As you can see, he's good friends with Dorian. I still speak regularly, I think, fairly regularly. He's a real kind of historian of the sport, really good supporter of the sport. Still loves it, very, very knowledgeable guy. I'd love to get him on Global, actually, one time. Look at that. I think that was the biggest Ronnie Coleman ever was. That was the 2004 Russian Grand Prix. Yeah, look at Ronnie there. I mean, Ronnie's like 300 pounds there. Shredded, absolutely incredible. Yeah, good guy, Paul. Had an accident, was it 10, 12 years ago, something like that, when he was living in Australia. He fell through some stairs and completely smashed his hips to pieces, and he's basically in constant pain. Really hits him hard sometimes. He really fights with it on a daily. Goes through a lot of daily struggle just to kind of keep on top of it, And he's married with a couple of kids. I think he's still studying now. I forget what qualifications he's got now. Is it a PhD? I think. There's his 2 children there. But as you can see, real fan of the 90s bodybuilding. Very knowledgeable guy. And likes Flex Wheeler. My God, Sean Ray, Paul Dillette. That was 1993 Ironman, That was 1993 Ironman. That was Sean Ray 1994 Olympia when he took second. Flex Wheeler at the 1993. That is Dorian Yates 1992 Helsinki. Now I'm just showing off. That's 1996 Kevin Ravone Arnold Classic.
Calm down.
That was the year that Paul Dillette mistimed his diuretics and he froze on stage right before he froze on stage. So yeah, Paul Baxdale, cool guy, still training hard, and real lover of all things bodybuilding, lifetime bodybuilding fan, which I respect big time. Yeah, so there you go. Paul Baxdale, give him a follow. He's got a decent amount of followers. Bloody hell, 32,000. Yeah, he does prep coaching as well, off season. If you ever get a chance to get a session, Paul Baxdale put you through a session. He lives in Scotland, so get up and see him, because I'll tell you what, you'll learn what real training pain is, because he'll completely destroy you. So so Paul Baxdale. Okay, that is our shout outs, and that's it for episode 16 of MD Global Muscle. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed our British Grand Prix reviews, our interviews with our athletes, Theo Leguerrier. Forgot the others. My mind's gone blank. Mine's gone completely blank. And obviously Per Bernal. And I can't remember the other two. What were the other two? How's my mind gone blank? It's been a tough day. I had a hypo earlier on. Yeah, halfway through an interview on, if you watch Theo Leguerrier's interview, because I'm diabetic, I took some insulin and had a very shaky hypo. I hope you didn't notice. I hope it didn't affect the quality of the interview. Anyway, okay, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. And we will see you next week for MD Global Muscle. And we are out.